Good morning and welcome to day 7 of the third annual WSOP Daily Spaces coverage and the longest poker space. I'm Sherry Pluskota, aka Peaches, and I'll be your host today. And we are being joined currently with my two of my co-hosts, Rick O'Connor and ASG. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Sherry baby.
I hope you're well, you guys. And I see
I don't
Brandon.
nearly have that level of energy.
Wakey, wakey, ASG. It's Monday. And I see Brandon's down in the goo. Let me send you an invite, Brandon. Glad to see you're no longer on the run, my friend. We will catch up hopefully today sometime. Many thanks to Elevator Results, my sponsor for my spaces. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter or check them out at their website at elevatorresultspt.com. Don't forget, you can find the recordings of my past spaces, including the WSOP daily coverage and the WPT daily coverage, on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. Don't forget the meetup game. The fifth official meetup game is June 21st at the Bellagio Poker Room at 1 p.m. It's a 1-3 cash no limit game. Of course, if your table decides to make your game, your table a different game, that is fine as long as you're all in agreement. We have no problem with that. Thanks to Sean McCormick and the folks at the Bellagio Poker Room for hosting us and providing free pizza for us. Don't forget, there's a bobblehead shark trophy up for grabs. We will also have Splash the Pot items that have been graciously donated by several different folks. And as it gets closer, we're going to detail what some of those Splash the Pot items are. We have gift cards and books, and it's really kind of some fun stuff. So, if you'd like to donate something to the Splash the Pot items, let me know. We'll be happy to put them on our list for sure. Please be reminded that we will always try to give the most updated and accurate information possible, but we are human and information is always fluid. So please make sure you double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible, and correct us when we're wrong. I have no problem with that at all. As a matter of fact, I caught myself in a mistake yesterday, and I hope people took me at that last statement and double checked what I said yesterday. Because for some reason I read out some of the schedules for day 6 or day 5 instead of day 6 when I was covering some of the schedule yesterday. So sorry about that, folks, but that just proves my point. Please double check the information we're disseminating here because we're human and make mistakes. So there you go. Hey, Isaac, I see you joined us. Good morning. Another co-host.
Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, thank you. And I'm gonna pivot over to Todd because he may be playing today, so I would want to give him a chance to speak if he's in a hurry this morning, or he may be back home. I'm not sure, but we're gonna pivot to him anyway. Todd, how you doing, buddy? You still in Vegas?
Hey, how are you, Sherry? What's up, everybody? Yep, I'm still here. Getting some bad beats over the last
Uh-oh.
few days, but
Not like that, Todd. Not
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I'm gonna
Oh my
play
God, that's sick, dude. I'm sorry.
this guy. I'm gonna play MGM, 250K guaranteed today. Um, See how that goes, but yeah, not good so far for me. But hopefully, everybody else who's playing is doing well.
Well, hopefully you're gonna have a change of luck today in that 250K guarantee over at the MGM. What time does that start?
Starts at 10 Pacific, so 1 hour from now.
Awesome. And how many more days you there till?
I'm here till Thursday, so if I
Okay.
can get the day 2 on this, that's Wednesday, and then I'll be leaving Thursday.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Have you met up with anyone besides Barry Levy from the Spaces?
No, I haven't seen anybody else yet. Um, I've seen some other known poker players walking around, but no, just met up with Barry.
Love it.
That's about it.
Well, I'm glad you had a chance to meet up with him. Two of my favorite people.
Appreciate that, Sherry.
You bet. You bet. And good luck today, Todd, and always keep us updated.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. 100%, buddy. We're looking for some run good. We're going to send you some spaces run good today. So good luck, Todd Rizzo, at that tournament at the MGM at 10 a.m. start. It's a 250K guarantee. So good luck, my friend. Um, moving right along, let's talk about a couple of things before we get into the schedule for today. First of all, Isaac, give us the update on the one shot tournament you guys are hosting with the Green Visor Gang.
Sure, thank you, Sherry. We are hosting our own satellite to the WSOP main event. It is a 27-seat satellite. Each seat is $600. We will be hosting one game, a no limit hold'em game. Not sure if it's going to be a freeze out yet. That'll depend on the holders once we get to sellout. The prize for the game is you get a WSOP main event seat plus accommodations. Or if you can attend, you can do a final table chop where you'll take the lion's share and the rest of the final table will chop up the rest.
Awesome. Very cool. 1 in 27 chance of winning a main event seat for yourself with some lodging attached. So quite a good rate of return on a $600 investment for sure. So reach out to Isaac or any member of the Green Visor gang, and they'll get you the hookup as the how to get into that game. And I can't wait to see who wins it. That it's exciting for sure. What a great project you guys are taking on there, Isaac. It's awesome. Love it. Excuse me. Anybody else know it? I like how Reno Grinder or even Barry or Ruben have done out in Vegas currently. I haven't heard any updates. Anybody else?
I can tell you, Ruben basically min cashed the mystery bounty, and that's the only event I think he's played so far. Oh, and, yeah, because luck was not on his side in the 600 hours, so he's only played those two events so far.
Perfect. Thank you for that update. Not perfect that he wasn't having luck. I just meant perfect on the update. So good luck to Ruben and everybody else that's playing out there. And as time goes on, of course, we'll be getting more and more updates from everybody. What I've learned the last couple of years of doing this, at the very beginning, everybody is just trying to figure it out, right? And then everybody kind of gets it kind of gets rocking and rolling, and the updates come in a little bit easier. So kudos to all those guys that are playing and women too. And we'll look forward to maybe we'll get an update from Mel here too and Kathy Chang pretty soon. So good luck to everybody. That's exciting for sure. All right. ASG. Let's talk about the mystery bounty tournament and who won those two $1 million bounties. But before we do, I want to read a tweet that Charles Leonard put out, which read, WSOP lost my bounty ticket third hand of day 2. By the time they found it, I didn't get a shot at either $1 million bounties. How upset would you be if that was you?
I'll be that dude who went and tackled people and flipped over a table.
Crazy, right? Like, how unfortunate.
I'd be losing my shit because it's kind of the point.
I mean, honestly, go ahead, Brandon.
I'm just trying to confirm a rumor that one of the guys that won the $1 million bounty also won a $6 million Pygel jackpot the
Yep,
night before.
yep. Like,
That's
like a year or two ago.
a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody was saying like it was like while they were there?
No, I'm pretty sure it was a year or two ago.
Oh,
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
oh, okay. I misunderstood. See,
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, one
that's
of the
fine.
gentlemen, and maybe ASG can give us the name of both of the guys that won one, but one of them indeed won $6 million Pai Gow bonus or whatever you call it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that was the highest in Vegas history at the time.
yeah,
I think it still is.
yep,
But yeah, his name, I'm trying to find it. It's Thomas something. Um, why am I using the
no
correct
worries.
code?
Take your time. No worries.
Thomas Zanet. And he also, yeah, Thomas Zanet and Tyler Montoya. Tyler Montoya is a 20 something who was featured in coverage of the main event last year, where he was at the table with Chrissy at one point, where he was a lot of people got rubbed the wrong way by him, like talking too much when multi-way and that kind of thing. Uh, but yeah, he's definitely noticeable with his crazy hair.
Right.
And then yeah, Thomas Zanet, he even jokingly tweeted at Sohab, who said he was flying in and already wanted to go. He said something like, "Think I'm going to hit the Himalayan and just leave till the main event," which, by the way, he has not done because I saw him in tweeting about playing in other events yesterday. So
Yeah, he did kind of predict that for himself, didn't he? And I read a tweet. I want to say it was Poker Go retweeted um, something about going to strip clubs or now that he won the million or something to that
oh yeah,
effect.
the
My
20
new
something
favorite
kid
poker player.
said yeah, told all the strippers to be sure they're working today.
And I almost tagged him in Gene's update on the strip clubs so he would know which ones to go to. So he could have firsthand knowledge of some good choices at strip clubs since we've covered that from A to Z here in the morning space. But yeah, I got a kick out of that for sure. And congratulations to them. And I feel bad for Charles Leonard who didn't even have a chance at it, and it wasn't any fault of his own. So that I'm sure was very disappointing for him. And I wonder what he did draw. He probably got the least won $1,000. And you know what? I'm going to read out what the bounties are because they had so many entries into the mystery bounty tournament, which of course was event number one. They decided to give out two $1 million bounties instead of one. Then they had five 250. I'm sorry, they had a half a million, one $500,000 bounty, one $250,000 bounty, five $100,000 bounties, five $50K bounties, 36 $25K bounties, 20 10K bounties, 56 5K bounties, 65 of the 2,500 bounties, and 854 $1,000 bounties. So, quite nice prizes for sure. Um, so, I think that's going to be a tournament at one point in my life I'm going to try to target to play. I just never go to the WSOP at the beginning, so I would actually have to change what I've been doing for years in order to make that happen. But maybe I will and shake it up a little bit. So,
Or you never know. Sometimes they seem to rotate the schedule, so
true, very true. Absolutely. Did you guys read Daniel Cates's tweet about Maurice Hawkins and Denise and becoming their arbitrator? Arbiter? Is it arbitrator?
It's arbitrator. I didn't read that. I saw another tweet of his, I think, a day or two ago, where he was outing somebody else who owed somebody money. He does that a lot.
Yeah, he does. And he's kind of been known for it. But, I kind of put under that tweet, if he would just pay up and we'd be done with this kind of thing. Honestly, like just pay your debts. Honestly.
yeah, there's no reason for arbitration. Like nobody is disagreeing that
Right.
or disputing who owes who money.
Right. And
So
there's always
what's
a
the point of
court.
arbitration?
Right. And there's already a court case that tells him he owes this guy money. So I don't get it either. I thought it
Oh
was
The
just
no,
wrong
me.
term. Maybe it wasn't the
no.
right term. Maybe instead of like arbitrating, he meant he was trying to be like a mediator or something. Because
No, Maurice owes multiple people money, so this is not the same person he has a legal judgment against, but a different lady who also he owes money to.
This is his latest person he owes money to. This is his most
holds all
recent.
the rings, right? He's the one who has the most rings or something like that.
He keeps going back and forth with Ariango for both
Yeah,
games.
he is one of them though. Yeah. He is a ringleader for sure. No pun intended. But um, you know, you don't need arbitration. Everybody knows, like ASG said, you owe money, just pay it and we're done. Like, quit wasting our time and giving poker a bad name. Like, come on, represent us better, bud.
Pay
Do
your backers, loser.
pay up. Like, quit making us look bad, for God's sakes.
And what I'm surprised is not happening is, maybe I just don't know laws, but I'm surprised that guy who has a ruling against him isn't telling Horseshoe that to like getting some kind of court order to be able to basically garnish anything he wins.
Well, and you know what? We're not sure that they haven't. Maybe they're just waiting until he wins. I mean, they have no obligation to tell him that, hey, we're going to be able to garnish you because we have a suit. There's a suit brought against you or whatever it's called. You know what? I mean, they don't have any obligation to tell him that ahead of time, that that's in the wings waiting. And guess what? If I were an operator, let me put it this way. If I were an operator and that paperwork came across my desk, I would not say a word so that the people that are owed the money would get the money if he wins. So I would be on the side of doing right and helping the people that are out the money if I were an operator. What do you think, Rick?
Um,
I I think that it depends on what the laws are in Nevada for that type of thing. I agree with you. I think absolutely, if they do get a court order that says they're to garnish anything that he wins, bingo, he's done. And that's what they should do, because that's not fair. If the guy owes people money and there's a court order to pay it back, and they have it legally, then they can garnish those wages. I mean, those are basically, you're talking poker players, those are their wages. So if they're considered wages, then bingo, they can garnish them.
100%.
and
What were you going to say, Brandon? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, ASG said that he has a legal judgment against him, against Maurice Hawkins, right?
Yeah,
His backer,
yeah,
right? Is that
yeah.
true?
True. For like 100,000 or more.
Yeah. Then they should garnish his. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but what the problem is, Brandon, is the person. So the person that is waiting to receive that money is the one that has to file in the state of Nevada to garnish his wages when he wins at a tournament.
Oh, he filed in another state, filed in Florida, probably, right?
Well, I don't know if he's filed at all, but any state
Well,
that you want, you have to do it in every state that you want to garnish wages in. So if Maurice plays in 50 different states, you would have to go to 50 different states and garnish wages.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Go ahead, Isaac.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna be the odd man out here, and I'm gonna say that that's a dangerous precedent to be set. Because yes, he owes money, but if you can start going to casinos and putting garnishments on people through their casino winnings, even though I know that poker winnings are viewed as income, I don't know. Just something about that does not ring right for the future.
Okay, well, let's think of it this way for just a minute, if I can just be devil's advocate. Um, Poker players that do this for a living are in are I don't, not contractors, but this is their living. This is their paycheck when they win in a tournament. So there's no other, I mean, that's the only way you garnish wages, whether they work at a fire station, a police station, or they're a poker player, that's their income. So you're garnishing wages.
Yep, and they're considered independent contractors.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
I know what they're considered in those terms and all of that. I guess the way I see it is that yes, that they may owe one person. The thing is that a lot of the times, a lot of these poker players are backed even when they owe other people and this, that, and
Well,
the
yeah, but
other. So
that's
it
their
becomes
problem.
complicated. It becomes complicated because say, okay, I hear that, but I guess my thing is like, all right, say you're getting backed by somebody, you go and you win. Now you're screwing that backer out of their
Yeah, but
money.
That,
that's their problem. That's the
yeah,
mess they created. It's not the victim that they owe 100,000 to's problem.
yeah. Again, it's not the casino. It's considered his livelihood. So if he were working somewhere, believe me, they'd be garnishing those wages immediately. So this is the same thing.
And just remember, we're talking about only those that have a court order for payment, right? I'm
Exactly,
not talking
Yes,
exactly.
about.
I used to file judgments, and I know how they operate and all of that. And this is why I say this. I mean, this is why bank garnishments exist, right? Now, if this person takes their winnings in cash, right? I mean, then is it ever going to touch a bank? That's always the toss up. It's just, I don't know. Something to me, it always seems like when you start attacking even through those channels, again, it just feels like a dangerous precedent. But again, my
Well,
opinion,
well then,
my opinion.
then anybody that garnishes anybody's wages who are through their workplace, what what are you going to call that? Is that dangerous? No, that's the law. That's the way it's
Of
done.
course,
and
that's
and
the law, but that's not what I'm disputing. I'm not disputing what happens when you work in a place where you receive a W-2, for example. That's different for you getting, getting caught up if you are an independent contractor per se.
Well, they're going to get a W two
yeah,
if they
but you're
win over
still
five
getting
thousand.
anything over 5,000. You're
Yeah,
getting
you're going to get a W
IRS
two.
paperwork at the casino when you're getting paid out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
I'm aware of all
You
of
know,
that. I'm aware of all of that. Like I said, I just think that it could be dangerous.
You
and
know,
we're going to agree to disagree. Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, nobody should be backing anybody without taking on their debt. Like your responsibility as a backer when you choose to back a player is to clean the sheet of anything before you became a backer.
That's
That's
interesting.
fascinating. That's fascinating.
That's interesting.
Because, like, say somebody's backed by somebody else and they're in debt. So, normally, what happens if another backer wants to take over that player's action, they have to pay back the original backer, usually at 50 cents on the dollar, before they're
Okay,
now being backed by the player.
now let me just interject here. That's if the player still has a relationship with a backer and they're just going to move to a new backer. However, in this case, he makes claim that the backing relationship was dead, therefore he doesn't owe the monies, the back monies, or
The only way
there
you
is
don't
a
owe back
difference.
the only way you don't owe back monies is if you stop playing poker.
No, 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 no.
Yeah,
They say no. I beg to differ. If you have an issue with your backer, or they have an issue of you with you, and you part, and the backer says, "I'm done with you," then you do not owe them the.
yeah, but that's if the backer says I'm done with you, and he
Well,
right
and
now
that's
the
the
backer
point.
has a court judgment against him.
Well, that's what I'm pointing out here. That's what I'm pointing out. If the relationship between you and that backer is over, is different than the relationship of a new backer taking on the old backer's debt.
Well,
That's
it depends on who backs. It depends
two
on who breaks it
separate.
up.
Well, but it's two separate issues. It's two
Not
separate
really,
issues.
because you could just say if he does, if the backer has to keep backing you until they say that they're done
Right,
because you're not profitable.
right,
So the
right.
player cannot just break the agreement, which is what happened here.
Well, and I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying there's a difference between a backer and a player parting ways and not owing the backer anymore, and a new backer buying out an old backer. There's a difference. That's two separate scenarios.
No, but I'm saying there's no such thing as a parting ways. One person has to end the relationship and who
And they're
the person
parting
is doing.
ways. That's
No,
a way to
no,
say parting ways. That's
no, you
how I'm
still,
choosing to say it. It's the same thing. I don't know why you're trying to argue it.
because it's not the same
It
thing.
is the same thing. If the relationship is over for whatever reason, right? The backer says, whatever reason the backer gives that they don't want to back you anymore, then you don't have
But
to
that's what I'm saying. It has to be the
pay
backer who says
the
it. If it's
arrears.
the
So
player who says, I don't want you to be my backer
I don't know
anymore,
why
they
you're
still owe
hung
the
up
money.
here. I don't
Because
know
it's
why you're hung
because
up
it's
here.
because
I
parting ways
agree with
act
you.
like it's mutual.
I said I agreed with you about the player not having the right to end it. Okay. I agree with you. I don't know what your problem is,
Because
ASG.
parting
Honestly,
ways acts like
you're
it's
not
mutual.
listening. No, it isn't. It is. Well, it is. And the backer could say that, and you're parting ways. You're parting ways. You no longer have a relationship in business of poker. You're parting ways.
No, it
That
said
is
parting
a
ways
true
acts like it's
statement.
mutual,
Well,
as
only in your
opposed to
mind.
the
In
backer
your
saying
mind.
you're
In
fired.
your mind. In your mind. It's
Well,
okay,
because
dude.
if there's still a
Honestly,
settlement, if there's a court order, obviously they didn't part ways.
they are parting ways. It
No,
doesn't mean that they're happy or sad. They're parting ways. They're no longer
happy
in
or sad
business
is
together.
irrelevant. No, because
Okay.
parting ways means
In your
that's been
mind.
settled.
In your mind. In your mind. We're going to agree to disagree. In your mind, that's what it means, and that's okay. Go ahead, Isaac.
Well, to add to that, I guess I would say if you have a backer, you should have some kind of contract with you and your backer, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's going to all depend on the language in that too.
Absolutely.
And,
Right.
100%.
and if something like this, again, precedence, right? If a casino decides to honor this and all of this type of stuff, that you're going to see language in future contracts for backing where I'm sure they're going to try to put clauses in there where it's like, if you owe for some reason for this, da, 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 there's no liability to this. And trust me, it can be
Well,
drawn
and
up.
they already have, some people already have contracts like you're mentioning, but in this case, the casino doesn't have a choice if garnishment is placed by law. It's not a choice for the casino to pay that garnishment or not. It's not a choice. They have to pay it
Has
out.
this happened before? Has a casino like granted, like
I mean,
actually got
it didn't.
garnished? Has somebody?
They don't have a choice to grant anything. They have to go by the law.
Well, I mean, I
It didn't come in
understand that,
time,
but
but
again, and I understand that, and I also understand this is a very heated topic, obviously. But the reason I say what I say is because a casino is not like a financial institution like a bank is. It's
no,
it's
they're a company who's giving money.
they're viewed,
They're a
but
bit place of business, just
but
like
they're viewed as
all the.
entertainment though. And at the end of the day,
It
that's what gets
doesn't matter.
garnished. When
It doesn't matter. It's a business, and they're garnishing somebody's wages.
yes,
They're garnishing someone's wages as a business, like any other business in the world.
yeah, again, seems like there's a lot of gray area, unfortunately.
All right, we had a contract with a very famous professional player,
Right.
and in that contract there was a clause that if there was money owed after we put him in all his tournaments and he didn't win back, whatever amount of money, that they would be on the hook for that money, just so you know. And that was through a casino.
Yeah,
So,
and again, that's but
it's like
again, that's in
the
the
way
language of the
I'm
contract.
hearing this is I can call Chase Bank and say, "Hey Chase, I don't want to have a relationship with you anymore, so I don't owe you all the money I owe on my credit card. See you later."
I mean, that is how a lot of
It doesn't
big
work.
business works with credit. Actually, I've seen some stuff like that. But I mean, look again. I think that this right now, in everybody's opinion, is coming down to what everybody's personal beliefs are, right? But I'm just looking at it from the side of the legalities of it, and I understand. Again, poker money is viewed as income, but to go to a casino to garnish somebody, I don't know. Just all seems
Look,
very odd to
if
me.
he's got a court order, then they can. I mean, according
And certainly,
At the end of the day, the
and
law is
cer-
the law, but it's how you
and
circumvent
certainly nobody is suggesting to allow that if they don't have a court order. Nobody's suggesting that at all.
absolutely, there'd be no legality for it then.
So,
It
but
all
if there's
depends
a
on.
court order, by golly, yeah, time to make them pay up, dude. Go ahead, Brandon.
I just had a question. I'm just playing kind of devil's advocate here, just kind of sassy. Let's say I don't like Maurice Hawkins at all. Don't get me wrong, but let's say he buys in for 20,000 and does not cash, but then he buys into a 10,000 and cashes for let's say 15,000. So he's actually down money, right? So are we still getting wages from that 15,000?
Absolutely. That's
No.
income.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I,
Income.
I don't know. I'm just throwing the question out there, see what everybody says.
Yep, absolutely it's income. I mean, that's the law. It's
But as a 1099 employee, he's actually minus 5,000, right?
it's he's got income coming in
That's not.
15,000.
I mean, that's not income. That's
It is. The 20K is now a write off. So it no longer exists. It's now a write off after you lose it. After you turn it in and you lose it and you're out, now it's a write off, a 20K write off. The 15K is now income.
okay. I don't know. I'm just. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a kind of a weird
I mean, that's
precedent,
how
right?
I look at it. If I'm wrong, let me know, people.
Obviously, most wage garnishments are through paychecks of normal jobs, but this is a normal, not at all a normal job, right?
Right, but it's still a paycheck. It's still considered a paycheck because if that's how you are doing your taxes with the 1099s or W-2s or however you're doing it, it's considered income as considerable a taxable wage. That's how the IRS looks at it.
Well, if
It's
you're
a
doing
taxable
1099,
wage.
if you're doing 1099, he just stopped there. He lost $5,000 on the year. So how can you take money
But they're going to
On the
from a
tax
five
you.
thousand
year.
dollar loss?
They're going to
On the
subtract.
year.
They're going to subtract the 5,000, whatever he bought in for in the tournament he won. They subtract whatever the 5,000, and then they tax him on whatever he won after that.
No, look, I'm not defending him at all. I'm just
All right.
asking the
No,
question. That's all.
Yeah,
no.
so
We
yeah,
get that chance. Yeah,
Sherry
no
is
problem.
100% right here. So basically, like, say you have a job where you go on site and you lose money on that job as a contractor, and then you take another job and somebody has sued you for money you make, you would get garnishment on the money you make on either job, regardless of if it was a net loss for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. So if you spend $20,000 to do a job like as a contractor and you get back 15,000, you're still getting garnished on that 15,000.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you have like a lien against you or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That was
You
the question
got
I
it.
was asking. Yeah, okay.
You got it. And remember that 20,000 becomes a tax write off, and so does the $10,000 buy-in. So actually, it's going to write off 30,000, so to speak. So
No,
to speak.
I get that, but
Okay.
I was just wondering, like, is that an income or I guess it is. Yeah.
And yes, overall for the year, right, it's a loss. If those were his only two tournaments, say, right? But in the moment, that's an income.
Absolutely.
I guess my example would be like child support. They don't take too much money from people. Like there's a percentage amount that they can take from people for child support. So if he's minus money, and child support's different. I know this is a court judgment. I know this is a different scenario. I'm just thinking out loud.
Actually, Brandon, I was reading up on this because now I'm very curious about this. It seems that if it's child support or tax debt, then the government can easily step in and they can take those wages. But it says that outside of those two things, it becomes very case specific. So that's interesting.
And I'm gonna say that I would think that um I don't think they would be able to take, like, I think that there would still be a percentage involved here. Like when a garnishment for Maurice comes in, say, we're just using him as an example. Um, I don't think it would be like if he won 50,000, they could take the whole 15,000. I'm still thinking that there would be a percentage of that 15,000 that they would take, but I can be, just completely wrong there.
Oh, I think you're right.
The nature of the judgment because usually with the judgment you have to satisfy the amount that's owed, right? So what'll happen is if it's really a withholding, then they're going to take the entire amount. Then they're going to make sure that what needs to be distributed to satisfy the judgment is distributed, and then after that, whatever wasn't will be released. But
Got it.
that's the usual method that it goes by.
Got it. Got it. And of course,
Oh
we're
damn!
just
So
talking it out.
if there's a judgment, they just take the whole shit, no matter what, huh?
Well, yeah, because a judgment you owe a dollar amount, and you can't dispute that. If you already got to the point where you have a judgment against you, then you've already lost. At that point, you only thing you can do is you're playing dodgeball. You're hoping that your creditor can't find you. So this is why I mean a lot of people who do these type of things have multiple bank accounts, right? Because let's say they burned one bank account, or one bank account is what their creditor is aware of, right? So they're going to pursue whatever they know they can attack. So if they know you bank with Chase, they're going to go to Chase with the writ of execution, right, in order to establish a garnishment. So
And
again, this gets really like legally, and yeah, yeah, just wild.
yeah,
It's
and I
wild.
think they're
It's
also
wild.
going to the courts. Like you gotta, I think they also go to the courts and they're telling Nevada, for example, oh well, not only does he have a judgment against him, but he's also been uncooperative in paying that judgment.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, they're going
Yeah,
to want to establish their case, and you're right. They're going to have to go to Nevada courts and make sure that Nevada courts issue these orders and do all of this. Then it is what it is, right? I mean, I would figure they have the knowledge of how to deal with the situation if this is actually like something that happens. I'm just unaware of if this has happened before. That's why I say if the precedent has been set already, then all of our
the
points are moot because it's been
Well, it
set.
did. I don't know if it's happened in Las Vegas because, of course, Maurice is probably the most notable one that all of us know about. But I do know that in Mississippi, Veronica Brill tried to do this with
Mike Postle.
do Mike Postel, thank you. And unfortunately, the paperwork got through after he had already been paid out. And so, but however, if he ever goes back to Mississippi to play, then of course that will be enacted. But so I don't know
Back to
in
Mississippi,
Vegas.
then yeah, right.
Well, I mean,
The map
um,
only
Uh,
gets smaller if you're dodging people. The maps only just get
exactly.
smaller. So
Exactly. And this lady Denise has the bankroll that she can go through his Hendon mob and file, once she gets a judgment against him, if it goes through the courts, she has the bankroll to file in every state, per his Hendon mob he plays in.
yeah,
So,
definitely. And then what'll happen is he'll be relegated to only using sites like ACR that are outside of the
yeah,
U.S.
or traveling to play outside of the US,
Period. Right? Yep. Yep. Very true.
you know?
and that's why this is like such a waste of time because like he has that Garcia guy has a judgment against him, and Jungle Man is not a legal arbiter. So, like, once Jungle Man rules in, or then what? We're
Yeah,
exactly where
Exactly.
we are right now.
I don't think he's orbiting. I have a feeling he's just trying to say he's being a mediator in a very like casual sense. Obviously, Jungle Man is not fit to be any of those things. Like,
Well, it's kind of his bit over the last few years, right?
oh
It's kind of
yeah,
his content. So we all
which is
know
interesting
what's
though,
going
because if he got caught up in some like multi-accounting shit to begin with, it's like if your integrity is questionable, you should definitely not be the one.
Bang, got him. Bang, exactly.
on. Oh,
You're a
point well
cheater, bitch.
made.
Who the one? Who were you to be the one to now
All right.
voice the reason? Fucking
Hey, people are great at shifting narratives when they got the money too, right? Like I've seen it.
Well,
I like Jungle Man as a player. Don't get me wrong, right? But once I found this out about it, I'm like, okay, so you're a scumbag like most other people who have this opportunity, right?
and it's unfortunate, and here we in the last 48 hours, even in the spaces world, there's been space hosts that have been, platforming and co-hosting people, and now those people are, ripping off people in a home game, and who else knows doing what.
Yikes!
Um,
Yikes!
it really it ruins everything. That's what these, they have short term memory. They want to make a quick dollar and scam people quickly. And they don't realize, A, that follows you the rest of your life as your reputation, you dumbasses. And B, you're ruining it in the poker world. Like, get out of here. Like,
That's
who brought
why.
these
That's
people
why.
into.
I wonder if
That's why
Johnny
at this
Moss
point in
ever
my
burned any
life,
of his
I'm playing
backers.
nickel dime poker, guys.
Right, Rick? Go ahead, Isaac.
No, I was
What'd you
saying,
say?
I just wonder if Johnny Moss ever burned any of his backers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, Johnny Moss. Do you really know about Johnny Moss's reputation?
I don't.
And he's
Again, I don't. I know
Yeah,
the legends exist, but I don't know everything about them.
yeah. He was one of those guys, along with Puggy Pearson and a few of the
And see,
others.
Puggy's out here. He's been painting the picture for the last couple of years, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, Puggy, we love you," but that's what I'm saying. Like, you go back to the
he
'70s
was
and '80s,
mean.
Puggy's probably
he
a
was
piece of
he
shit,
was a
right?
very
So,
He was mean. Puggy was a mean asshole, to
yeah.
especially to the dealers. He would hit
Yep.
them, spit on them. Puggy was a horrible person in my
Jan,
eyes.
oh,
Jan Fisher Jan Fisher will tell you the story about
Yep,
dealing to Puggy, and he threw a lit cigarette in her face.
yep. He was an
Casino did
asshole.
nothing about
I'm
it.
popping rounds off if you throw a six in my fucking
Yeah.
No,
face.
he would
So,
spit on people. He was mean and ugly. Like,
yeah. And Johnny
we've
Moss
come,
wasn't a
yeah,
saint either. So let me
yeah,
tell you,
we've
I
come a
was
long
around when
way.
those guys were around. I was in Vegas when those guys were around, and it was interesting. Let me tell you.
I gotta pick your brain one day. I love hearing stories of the past. Sorry,
Yeah,
one
it
of these
was
days we
pretty
gotta have
crazy
a
stuff.
long convo, my friend.
I saw some neat stuff at Binion's too, because they would set up a special table right in the front of the casino for Amarillo Slim to play with some of those high rollers out there, and it was just fascinating to watch. This is right around 69, 70, right when they started to do the World Series of Poker, because Slim had his big tournament up in Reno. That was
Right,
kind of a precursor
right.
for all that, and that's how they came up with the idea of doing it. Of course, Binion, you know him. He was, yeah, let me jump on this bandwagon,
I
brother.
mean,
Bring all
who's
these
gonna tell Binion
bring all these
otherwise?
guys that play craps to my casino. So it's like that was the whole idea back then. But
Speaking of mean
Wouldn't
ugly,
you like
there's
to?
Tom McCormick.
Wouldn't you like to be a fly in the wall back then? I mean, honestly, some of those names Rick just mentioned, the history of poker, and yeah, I just wish I was there to witness it firsthand. Like, I'm so jealous, Rick.
well, that's why I missed the boat when I didn't film that dinner we had. You know
Yes,
that when I had
yes,
Slim and I had Scotty,
yes.
I had Barry Johnson, the guys from the club in Texas there, and a bunch of other pros, and we had this great dinner because we had a private dining room at it's now the Hard Rock in Tulsa, but it was Cherokee Casino at the time. And before the big tournaments, Scotty's big tournaments, we would have a private dinner with everybody, and just it was just great. Mike Sexton went to him. Everybody, all the guys that came to play in Scotty's tournament came to these private dinners in the steakhouse, and I just was ready to kill him. I should have set up in those days it was a VHS.
Yeah.
I should have set up a camera in the corner of the room because
Yes, sir.
they're talking about where all the bodies are buried in
Yes,
Vegas, and
sir.
all that stuff. I mean, they really got into the nitty gritty, dirty Vegas stuff, and all the
Well, and
crap.
what's so amazing to me, Rick, is how through the passage of time, so many of the old time players are memorialized and idolized,
Oh
and
yeah,
people really don't really even know how many of them were cheaters or underhanded or were ugly and mean to people like
absolutely.
dealers. Because, of course, I have some friends that have been around, like you're speaking, and they tell the stories of some of these home games, but in some of the
Oh man.
biggest name homes
Yeah,
were
yeah,
some of the biggest cheaters with mirrors and
sure,
cameras, and
sure.
it's incredible. Like, it's absolutely incredible, and I keep waiting. I've been encouraging one of my friends. I'm like, just I'm encouraging you to write the book. And he's like, look, people would be so mad at me. And I said, write the book and release it upon your death so
Yeah,
your children will
absolutely.
benefit. So your kids will benefit. And the history of poker continues, the truth of some of the circumstances. And of course, he has, proof to provide. But, and I
Yeah,
really hope he takes what I said to him to heart and does it, because some of the stories he has told me, I'm like, holy smokes, if the public would know this, it would change so many perspectives and opinions of people and how they idolize certain
That's
players.
why
And
Mike Sexton's book is so good.
yeah,
It does go into that, you know.
I'm
And
yep,
just starting that book.
Doyle,
I just finished Doyle Brunson's Godfather
yeah.
of Poker, and I'm just starting Mike Sexton's book.
I
Yep,
have not
Doyle
read
used to talk
Mike's.
about bringing guns to those games. You know what I mean?
Yep,
yep.
Because they get robbed all the time. But look at Al Capone. I mean, oh, that he set up soup kitchens for everybody. He was one of the biggest gangsters in the world. You know, but he was a nice guy. He set up soup kitchens for everybody during the Depression. You know,
El Chapo was buying people's ranches and making people's farms and building whole cities for all the people in places he ran. They're
yep,
yeah,
gonna do that, right? Because they don't want the
yep.
people that are right there to, end up fucking turning on them. I understand that
yeah.
part, but it's so interesting. Like again, like Amarillo Slim's, what was it called? Was it the Super Bowl of poker?
Yep,
Right, and,
it
and
certainly
that's the
was.
one that Stu won three of those and won the three WSOPs. Right, he's the only one
He
that was
won. Yeah,
able to do
he won a number of those tournaments. But yeah, those were the interesting days. There was a lot of stuff that was going on back then
Love it.
with
I
those guys.
love it.
You know.
that. Yes.
All right, you guys, we're going to move on to the schedules, because then Isaac's going to give us some handy dandy information on the sphere and maybe some history of a casino or two. So let's move on to the schedule. Love the passion of discussion for sure. So I'm going to start us out with the win at 11 o'clock is day 2 of the seniors event. And at 12 o'clock is a no limit 1A flight, $1,100 buy in, $1.5 million guarantee. At 1800 hours is a no limit turbo, $1,100 buy in, $100,000 guarantee. Um, I wonder if that's supposed to be $1 million guarantee, but we're just going to say the paperwork says 100,000, so it's 100,000 guarantee. Um, Over at the Aria. Oh, Rick, am I saying yours? Wait a
That's all
minute.
right. That's all right. You're
Oh,
doing
wait a
good.
minute. It just dawned on my brain that I may be saying Rick. So I'm going to move over to the Aria instead. And at the Aria at 11 o'clock is the No Limit tournament. It is an $800 buy-in, 200,000 guarantee. Over at the Grand, MGM Grand, 10 o'clock is the No Limit Flight 1A, $500 buy-in, 250K guarantee. 1400 hours is the Big Bet Dealer's Choice, $600 buy-in, 25K guarantee. At 1600 hours is a SATI into the $800. It says SATI to $800 plus $200 cash. That's $140 buy-in, 5 packages guaranteed. 1800 hours is flight 1B to that no limit $500 tournament. That's what Rizzo's playing today. At 2100 hours is a no limit tournament, $150 buy-in, 3K guarantee. Over at the Orleans today at 11 o'clock is their no limit tournament, $300 buy-in, 30K guarantee. The Torse, that's with a T, is at 1600 hours, $240 buy-in, 10K guarantee. At 1800 hours is their no limit tournament, $200 buy-in, 15K guarantee. And at 2200 hours is the Survivor, $125 buy-in, $1,500 guarantee. That's over at the Orleans. Over at the Nugget today at 11 o'clock is their no limit tournament, $250 buy in. At 12 o'clock is their 8 game. It's a $400 buy in. At 1600 hours is their no limit tournament, $120 buy in. And at 1800 hours is another no limit tournament with a $200 buy in. That's over at the Nugget. If anybody's playing at the Nugget, hit me up, because I want you to try something about ordering food, and I'll explain it to you if you hit me up and let me know you're playing at the Nugget. We want to test out a theory. Go ahead, Rick. What do you have as far as tournament schedules today?
Okay, so for your favorite South Point,
Yes.
there's summer 200K, midsummer 200K will restart on Monday, June 16th, but they do have their daily tournaments at 10:10, 2:10 p.m., 6:10 p.m., 10:10 p.m. with buy-ins of $120 and $300. And over at the Venetian today, at 11:10, they with the last rebuy at 440, a no limit home run tournament for $600, unlimited rebuys, $50,000 guarantee. And at 6:10 tonight, with the rebuys ending at 10:40, it's a no limit hold'em bounty tournament, $200 bounties, $600 buy-in, unlimited rebuys, and a $40,000 guarantee. And that's what I have.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Go ahead, Isaac, with your tournament schedules.
Yes, okay, let's start off at the Westgate. Westgate offers a variety of daily poker tournaments at 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. A $45 buy-in no limit hold'em tournament, 7 p.m. $65 buy-in no limit hold'em tournament, 9 p.m. $60 buy-in no limit hold'em tournament, and additionally, they host a 3 p.m. lazy pineapple tournament. Over at Planet Hollywood, they host 4 daily no limit hold'em tournaments at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. Each tournament has a $100 buy-in and offers a starting stack of 20,000 chips. And finally, over at Red Rock Casino, they host a daily no limit hold'em tournament at 10:35 a.m. The buy-in varies by day. Monday through Thursday, you're going to pay $125 to buy in. Friday to Sunday, you're going to pay $150, and each tournament offers a starting stack of 25,000 chips.
Thank you for those updates. I appreciate it. Over at Mandalay Bay today at 1 p.m. and at 8 p.m. is a $60 no limit tournament, a 10K starting stack, 15-minute blinds, and there is no guarantees. At Resorts World at 12:05 and 7:05 today is a $200 no limit tournament, 25K starting stack, 30-minute blinds with a 3K guarantee. And at Caesars Palace today at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. is their $120 buy-in, $50 add-on, 15,000 in starting stack, 20-minute blinds, 1K guarantee. And at 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. is $160 buy-in, 50K add-on, 20K starting stack, 20-minute blinds, 2K guarantee. We're going to get on to the WSOP. But before I do, I did not give a shout out yesterday to these winners around town, so I'm going to do it now. Over at the ARIA, Danielle McCauley, who took place 8th place in the ARIA Classic Tournament for 5,600, a little bit over that. So congratulations to Danielle. Over at South Point, Tomas took over 4,000 for winning the Mystery Bounty Tournament. The Venetian, we had Michael Taylor took 6th place in event number 18, which was a $600 monster bounty. He took home over $1,800 plus his bounties. Over at the Venetian, Michael Mitrone took down event number 19. It was a $400 no limit bounty tournament, and he took home 4,800 plus bounties. And Landon Brown won over at the Venetian too in a heads up chop of event number 20, which was the $600 monster stack, and he took home over $12,000. So, congratulations to those winners over at the Venetian. Timothy Miles took down the $1,100 no limit turbo over at the Win for over $52,000. There were 263 runners in that tournament. Nikolai Tulin took down the $1,100 turbo for $49,000 at the Win as well. So congratulations to those winners around town. Over at the WSOP, event number 1, the Mystery Millions tournament, had 19,654 entries. 20 were left going into final day, which is today. There is 11, that's 11 o'clock restart. Over $18 million in the prize pool, 1,500 places being paid. Our chip leader going into today is Michael McLough. He has 82.2 million in chips, and he is from the United States. George I think it's Telovich, has 77.6 million in his stack, and Linda NGO has 75.5 million in her stack. So go, Linda. I got to cheer for a lady in the top 3. A notable is another lady in 10th place as far as chip stacks are concerned. Diana Allen has 37.9 million in chips. So good luck to all those that are remaining in that mystery millions. Quite a feat. 19,000 and they're down to 20. All right, final day of event number 7 was yesterday. That was the 25K heads up tournament, which had 64 players initially. 1.5 million in prize pool money. Arthur, and I'm going to spell his name, is Tirossian, was the winner and took home $500,000. Boyka took home second and 300,000, and Patrick Leonard came in third for 180,000. So congratulations to those winners. The final day of event 8 was yesterday, a $1,500 dealer's choice. 800,000 in the prize pool. There were 597 entries and 14 and 14 were left going into yesterday. Benny Glazer of the UK took home the first prize and 150K. Matthew Schreiber came in second for 100K. Andrew Park came in third for 66K. And a notable Gina Heck finished 17 for 7,000. So congratulations to that female player, as well as our male players for making it into the money and winning. Benny Glazer. Congrats, Benny. Event number 9, 10K Omaha high-low 8 or better. There were 217 entries. There are 20 left going into day 2 today. D Negs is our chip leader with 1.5 million. Will he win another bracelet? Time will tell. Matthew Beener is in second place with 1 million, and Max Coleman is in third place with 1 million. For Team Spacers, Robert Mizuraki went out 23rd of that tournament, so we're definitely going to get some points there. Moving on to event number 10, which was the $600 no limit deep stack, was day 1 yesterday. There were 6,090 players, 301 are remaining. There is 3.2 million in the prize pool. The chip leaders Tahar Benmama, maybe Bahama, I don't know, BENHMAMA, has 3.1 million in chips. Sasha Guerrero, has 2.6 million in chips in that deep stack. So good luck to those folks. Event number 11 was the 10K Mystery Bounty Day 1, 616 players in the field, 130 remain, 5.8 million in the prize pool. The chip leader currently is Richard Green of the United States with 955K. Lucky Chewy, Team Spacers alert, Lucky Chewy has a stack of 757K. Space's favorite, especially with some women in Spacers. In Spaces, Nicholas Palma is in third place as far as chip stacks are concerned with 754K. Another notable name I've been preaching about fantasy poker, Shannon Shore, is in fourth place with 711K. Another notable in there is Brian Rast, who's got 391K, as well as Kristen Foxon, who has 156,000 in her chip stack. So a lot of poker to be left to play in event number 11. Hopefully Lucky Chewy will take it down and give us a big boost in that fantasy league. Event number
Joey.
Yeah, right. Event number 12 was the $1,500 no limit deuce to seven low ball draw. There were 532 players, 78 remain, 733,000 in the prize pool. The leader at this moment is Han Lu. He has 711,000 in chips, and he is from the United States as well. Brian Yoon has 588,000 and he's from the United States. And in third place in chip stack sizes with 453,000 is Viva Mexico, whoever that may be. A notable
Adam Owen.
Who is it?
Adam Owen.
Adam Owen. Thank you so much. Another notable, couple notables and still left in that deuce to seven low ball draw tournament would be Huckleberry Seed, who has 285,000, and Phil Hellmuth, who has 200,000 in his chip stack. Let's just go over today's schedule quickly as a synopsis. 10 a.m. is event number 13, $1,500 no limit, six-handed tournament day one. At 11 o'clock is event number 10. Day two is that $600 deep stack. 11 o'clock is the final day of the Mystery Million with 20 runners. That's event number one. Is that correct? Wait a minute. What am I doing? Yeah, that's correct. Sorry. So that is 11 o'clock restart for that Mystery Millions. 12 p.m. is day one of event 14, which is the 25K mixed PLO / no limit high roller day one. And then at 12 p.m. is day two of event 11, which is that 10K mystery bounty with 130 returning. At 1 p.m. is day three, event number 9, 10K Omaha high, low 8 or better, returning with 20 runners. At 1 p.m. is day two of event 12, the $1,500 deuce to seven low ball draw with 78 returning runners. And at 2 p.m. is day one of event number 15, which is the $1,500 mixed PLO high low 8, Omaha high low 8, big O. So that's the schedule for today. Please go right ahead, ASG.
So, sorry, you bringing all those events up reminded me that I was getting some messages that the high rollers are already getting irritated about the no phones at the final three tables, especially at these high level events where you can basically the three tables last all day.
Yeah, and they're bored, right?
Well, and they're talking about the Rex, so I'm assuming also there's work implications and thinking that, but yet they're not
Yeah,
pleased.
of course. Of course. No, and I agree with you. I'm just making a flippant remark. But so how many should we take take the odds or make guesses as to how much longer that rule is going to stay in effect?
I believe that there is a quote from Daniel Negreanu saying it won't make tomorrow, but we'll
And he has the most say around the WSOP, so we'll go with what he says.
yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it's been a crusade of Matt Savage, besides being a new rule, that that the Recs are fine with no phones and whatever. So I just wanted to report from my inside sources that they are not fine with this and are not pleased at all.
And it's so easy in the poker world to try to separate people from the pros, high rollers, and the wrecks. Everybody's just a poker player, and it doesn't matter what buy-in level you're at. You're going to have people with the same points of view. I mean, that's just life. So I don't buy that. People kind of try to separate instead of, hey, we're all
Yeah,
poker players.
I think the issue was more for most the low buy tournaments. You're not at three tables or less for that long compared to
Right.
those.
Right. I get it. All right. I made mention about Stephen Song, who of course is on our fantasy league team. And I'm a little upset because the man made some 100 points in bonus points that we do not get to have because that tournament doesn't count for us because our league started later. And I'm kind of upset about that. Can anybody give me any reasons why they can't hold the draft 2 or 3 days before the first day of the WSOP so that the ODB Baker League can start on time? Are there any good reasons they can't do that?
I mean, it's all based on when the 25K people show up to Vegas. That's the good reason, I guess. That's when they finally get in.
Oh, my Lanta. Well, they need to come in another day sooner, for God's sakes. They're costing me 100 points. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
selfish.
do a Zoom draft or something. I don't know. Figure it out.
Exactly. I mean, if you came in, and don't you think, I mean, out of all those people that are drafting a team for the 25K, you don't think they're there before, just the day before? Can't they just at least do it the 2 days before? I don't know. I don't know.
Half of those guys are living there.
Exactly. If not all of them, for
Yeah.
God's sakes. But anyway, that
That was
I'm
the
on my
best reason I could come
soapbox.
up with.
And I appreciate that reason, and it's valid, and it just, I'm having a hissy fit, and here I am. Anybody get anything? Oh, I know. Wait a minute. Isaac,
Yes.
I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about the sphere.
Okay, sphere time. All right, give me a quick sec. All right, so here we go. All right. The Sphere in Las Vegas, officially known as the Sphere at the Venetian Resort, is a groundbreaking entertainment venue that has redefined live performances through its innovative design and immersive technology. Here's a overview of its history and features. The concept for the Sphere originated in 2018 when James Dolan, executive chairman of Madison Square Garden Company, envisioned a revolutionary entertainment venue collaborating with Las Vegas Sands. The project broke ground on September 27th of 2018 on an 18-acre site east of the Las Vegas Strip adjacent to the Venetian Resort. Designed by the architecture firm Populous, the Sphere was constructed between 2019 and 2023, with AECOM serving as the general contractor. The project faced delays due to COVID-19 pandemic and supply chain issues, ultimately costing $2.3 billion, making it yeah,
Ridiculous.
making it the most expensive entertainment venue in Las Vegas. Um, Standing at 366 feet tall and 516 feet wide, the Sphere is the largest spherical structure in the world. Its exterior boasts a 580,000 square foot LED display capable of showcasing dynamic visuals from miles away. Inside the venue, it features 160,000 square foot, 16K, wow, 16K, y'all, resolution. Yeah,
16K.
that's fucking ridiculous. Resolution wraparound LED screen, providing an unparalleled immersive experience. The Sphere's audio system comprises of 167,000 speaker drivers, utilizing beam forming and wave field synthesis technologies, ensuring precise sound delivery to every seat. Additionally, the venue offers 4D effects, including haptic feedback, wind, and scent, enhancing the sensory experience for up to 20,000 attendees. Now, grand opening and notable events. The Sphere officially opened on September 29, 2023, with a 40-show residency by Irish rock band U2, titled U2 UV Achtung Baby Live at the Sphere, attracting over 663,000 attendees and grossing 244.5 million. Following U2, the venue hosted a variety of events. Dead and Company, the Dead Forever Live at the Sphere residency spanned 30 shows from May to August of 2024, grossing 131.4 million. The Eagles Band commenced a 44-show residency in September 2024, scheduled through November 2025. The gross is yet undetermined. Anima, in December 2024, electronic music artist Anima became the first of his genre to headline the Sphere with the End of Genesis residency, and in September 24, the Sphere hosted its first sporting event, UFC 306.
Awesome. Thank you for that update. And I'm just going to tell y'all, if you see me on a corner in Vegas while you're there, just mind your own business. I'm trying to get the funds to go see the Eagles. Mind your business.
Hey, you know what? I respect it because I definitely want to see the Eagles. I mean, didn't they like have their last show like 20 years ago and they're still performing? I fucking love that.
I, I'm going to tell you something. Their music just never gets old for me. It just doesn't. It is probably up in my top five as far as bands are
Right there
concerned. And
with you. They're up there for me like Fleetwood Mac.
yeah, well, I'm not a Fleetwood Mac fan, but I will tolerate them. I would
Whoa.
never pay money to see Fleetwood Mac. I'm just telling you like it
Yeah.
is.
Well, I'm an old fart, and John Mathis just had his final show, and he's 89 years old. So
90, Jesus Christ.
isn't
I
that
Mathis
feel
was
something?
still
old now.
performing. Wow.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I saw him last December here in Florida. He came,
Wow.
and it was a great present from my wife. He played with a 12 seat orchestra, and he could still hit the high notes.
Good for him.
It wasn't. He was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I guess he has some health issues now. Well, most of us when we get to this age do anyway. But
Right.
you talk about someone who was the greatest in his genre, his generation, and a nice guy too. Johnny Mathis was my first live concert when I was 12 years old at,
Oh,
at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles.
Let's fucking go.
that's awesome.
And that's something. My aunt took us there. We were visiting my aunt. We drove from Chicago on good old Route 66, and she took us there. And that was the days of the Beatles and all that stuff. And I was just mesmerized. And I've luckily been able to see him 5 other times throughout his career. And he was just one of the amazing singers of all time.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Hell yeah.
That's very cool. Isaac, I don't know. Are you on a headphone or something? Because you keep going kind of in and out like a robot voice and
You
normal
know
voice.
what? I'm actually on my AirPod today, and I've noticed that I think the noise canceling on these stupid headphones does that. Here, give me a
Yeah.
second. I'm gonna take it off.
Yeah. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. While he does that, I'm going to talk about the poker org. Um, Legends Lounge is going to be back this summer. If you didn't have a chance to visit it last year, you missed out. They have a really cool spot, and I am assuming it's going to be located in the same spot, which was next to the steakhouse, the Binion Steakhouse in the Horseshoe. Um, when you walk in, you have to sign in. So you definitely want to have a poker.org account. And all of us that did fantasy probably already have that account. In order to get into the lounge, you do have to be a member of their site, so to speak. It's free of charge. They have snacks in there and drink and refreshments in there. It's free of charge. They have all kinds of like lounging areas, tables with booths. So if you needed to hold a quick meeting with somebody, you could. If you just want to chill out, you can get, some downtime because they do keep the lights kind of low. Very relaxing space. I highly recommend you visit the poker.org Legends Lounge. It opens June 24th through July 11th. June 24th through July 11th, free drinks and snacks. Definitely an awesome place to grab a snack or drink and a quick, maybe just some downtime on a break of the tournament. Whatever, meet friends there. It's a very easy place to say, hey, meet me at the lounge and then we'll go to lunch or something. So, you definitely don't want to miss that. They also kind of give some freebies out during the summer. So definitely check in to see what they're giving away. But don't tell them I told you so. Go ahead, Isaac.
No, just wanted to make sure that I got that right. So as long as you have a poker.org account, like that gets you in.
Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Awesome. The gang will definitely be there. I'll make sure to get on everybody to get an account today. Hell yeah.
Yep, definitely do it. Definitely do it. And it really is. They have it decked out in all kind of poker.org like paraphernalia, pillows and stuff. And it's really cool. Like they're really doing it well for
Damn, they
sure.
gonna kick my ass out. Watch.
No,
Watch.
they
I'm gonna be in
won't.
there all high and shit. Kick my ass out.
Welcoming another co-host, Kieran. Welcome.
Hey guys.
How
Sorry to
are you?
join late. Good, good. Just finished my meeting.
Awesome. I'm glad you can join us. Tell us about chess and poker, would you please, ma'am? Not in
Well,
poker, in Vegas, chess in Vegas. I'm reading at the same. You guys have to understand when I'm hosting. I know you folks on the panel understand. When I'm hosting, I'm also checking DMs. I'm also looking at my notes, and I'm trying to talk and listen. But besides that, I'm doing nothing. So forgive me when I call out poker instead of Vegas because I'm reading it on a paper. So if you could update us on the chess festival, Miss Chess.
so if I could have just a couple of minutes, because I just got out of my meeting,
Yes.
I have it all in a document, and I'll find it, and I'll get right back
Yes,
to you.
girl.
Okay,
No
just give me a
worries.
minute. All right.
Is and while she's doing that, Isaac, do you have a casino you want to give us the history on?
Yes, I do. Yeah, sure. Give me another quick
Yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
This is why I love spaces.
let me pull up my fun stuff here that I got lined up. I've been having some of these ready for y'all, so let me see. What do we got here? What do we got here? What's the right one to start with? Well, you know what? Let's start with the one that sparked it all off. Okay, so Las Vegas. All right, let's paint the scene, right? Las Vegas, 1941, before the neon, before the mob, before the showgirls, you had this dusty road called Highway 91. And right on that stretch, a guy named Thomas Hull opened El Rancho Vegas. It had 63 rooms, a steakhouse, and live Western music. And just like that, Vegas flipped from railroad pit stop to destination. It was the first hotel casino to bring it all under one roof: gambling, food, entertainment rooms. No one had done that yet. And here's the wild part: it worked. Not overnight, but word spread. Sinatra and the Rat Pack didn't start here, but without El Rancho, there's no stage for them to shine. In 1960, the whole thing burned down in a fire.
Let
That
me
was,
add something real quick, though, buddy. Guess
please.
what? Clark Gable stayed there when Carol Lombard had her airplane accident.
You see, I fucking love Rick, yo. No, no, real shit, man, dude. And you know, it's funny because when I started looking into all of these casinos to do this, I actually started talking to a friend of mine who he's lived in Vegas. His family's lived there for like five, six generations,
Yeah.
and he started telling me about some of these places I never knew existed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That was the
So
the
I
hot
love
spot.
that. Please, Rick, at any time when I'm talking about any of this, please throw something in there. I'm
Just
sure.
thought I thought you might find that interesting, but that's
And
where.
that's no, Clark Gable. That's when his right his
Yeah.
wife passed in the plane
He was
crash, right?
married. He was married to Carol Lombard at the time, and she was doing a war bond thing, flying around.
Yep,
And
yep.
when her plane ran into the mountain, and Gable was absolutely
Devastating.
devastated.
And you
Absolutely.
know what's funny? I know about that because of Ghost Adventures. Because apparently, Ghost Adventures went to
Oh,
some
shit.
like cabin or something by where the crash site was,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently they had like found some EVPs of Gable's voice saying Carol and all. It's crazy, but I found out about that because of that. That's so cool.
Yeah, she was
Wow.
the love of his life, and she was a very, very funny lady. Very.
Well, thank you for that. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, so just to cap it off, it says that it worked, not overnight, word spread. Okay, so the whole thing burned down in a fire that was never fully explained. No one rebuilt it. That's interesting, right? But every hotel that came after was chasing what El Rancho proved. If you build a dream in the desert, people will come to gamble on it. And
I
that's
know
what I have for
that's
today.
well. Thank you for sharing that. El Ranchero, no Rancho, El
El
Rancho, right?
Rancho, yeah, and
El
it's never.
Rancho. Thank you for sharing that history of El Rancho,
They
Isaac.
never developed that land for a long time. When I was there in the '70s, it was still a vacant lot, and
Where
so
was that, Rick?
they never developed it until later on. So it was vacant for many many years. That lot where the El Rancho sat.
Where is that located, or what's there now?
It's on. It's across from the Sahara on that intersection. I can't. Is that? I think it might be Sahara Boulevard there,
Yes,
but
Sahara in Vegas, like right
yeah,
there where
it was.
that
It was
old souvenir shop that's right in the corner of the
right.
Bonanza.
Exactly. There was a huge souvenir shop in the corner, and it was a vacant lot across the street from the Sahara where the El Rancho stood. And up in the days in the '70s and '80s when I was out there, no one developed on that land until much later. So it was kind of interesting that it kind of stayed, kind of stayed vacant, after burning down mysteriously all those years.
That's so interesting because I'm trying to think about that corner right now, and I know that there's a souvenir shop on one side, the
I think
Sahara on
it's
the other.
empty. I
It
think
is,
it's
isn't it?
empty.
There's still an empty lot on one of those corners.
Might be. It
I
still
think
might
it's
be.
empty.
Yeah, it was really strange, because everybody's building like crazy in Vegas, and this one prime lot it just stayed vacant. It was
There
really
must be
strange.
some folklore to that one, I would
Yeah,
You
have to
wonder
could
what's
venture
be.
to
buried under
guess.
that place, right?
Could
Yikes.
be. Could be.
All right, Miss Karen, are you ready for us?
Yeah, found my
You go.
document. I
Thank
will
you.
first say that that Discord sound was giving me flashbacks to Brandon's smoke detector.
Shout out to the smoke detector.
God damn, got some Discord blowing up there. Excuse my cursing there to those.
That's all right. No worries. Maybe we can get him to turn that sound down, Isaac.
Beep,
Anyway,
beep.
okay, so I got my notes here. So the Vegas Chess Festival is a series of chess events in Las Vegas from June 4th to 8th. So that starts Wednesday. And in fact, my husband's working at the festival. He's one of two grandmasters and he flies out tomorrow. But let's see what I wrote here. So the centerpiece of the festival is the main event, which is also known as the National Open, and that's been around since 1965. It's the longest running open chess tournament. The festival this year is going to be at the Flamingo. So any registration or if you want to hear more details, you can visit vegaschessfestival.com for more info. This year, this was as of a couple of weeks ago, they had more than 800 people registered. I hadn't checked it lately, but it's pretty big. The prize fund is at 125K guaranteed. And the cool thing about this festival is all the side events. This go around, they've got 3 chess lectures, a camp for kids and adults, and you can do half day or full day, 3 simuls. One's a kids only simul, and then game analysis, streamers meet and greet, kids only tournament, a blitz tournament, a women's tournament, and a Susan Polgar book signing. The disappointing thing about this year's festival, however, I got to say this, is they're not having the poker tournament that usually occurs at the end. I played that 3 years ago. It's pretty cool. All the chess players, friends and family of the chess players, staff, etc., play in a poker tournament at the end of the chess festival. So that the Flamingo doesn't have a poker room, so that's why. So I'm hoping eventually they'll move it, back to somewhere where there's a poker room. And then let's see if I left anything out. Not really. I think that's pretty much it. Just visit vegaschessfestival.com for more information. It starts Wednesday.
Awesome.
My
Thank you.
favorite.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that update. Of course, we've been giving out the dates, but it's nice to hear what kind of events they're hosting within that event. So, very cool. If you play some chess, get over to the Flamingo, meet some people, play some chess, enjoy your time in Vegas. I'm going to talk about some line dancing places. And I know that, some of the folks in here, like Brandon and Doinky and Michael and Ryan, they can't wait to go line dancing in Vegas for sure. So double check, remember, double check their websites.
What kind of line
And
dancing are we talking about?
I'm going to tell you what kind we're talking about over at Gilly's Saloon. They offer free line dancing and they have karaoke. Don't forget to check the websites for detailed information, but they're located at Treasure Island, and um, that's definitely country and western line dancing because that's what Gilly's Saloon is. Free line dancing lessons. Don't forget that. Saddle up in spurs. Don't forget your spurs, people. I'm sure Donkey has spurs. There's no doubt in my mind. Saddle and Spurs Saloon at 2333 North Jones Boulevard. They have live bands, karaoke, and a game room. Check their website. Over at the Hideaway Tavern, which isn't that the one that Sean brought up the other day? I can't remember. At 3369 Thumb Boulevard has live music, open 24 hours a day. Check their website. Over at Hogs and Heifers Saloon, sounds like my kind of place, at 201 North 3rd Street. They allow you to bring outside food, believe it or not. They have bar top dancers. I know that's Isaac's favorite. Live country music as well as live blues bands. So, those are some places I picked out just to mention today. But believe me, there are thousands of places to go, not only listen to live music, but to line dance, karaoke in Vegas. So, check those places out. Now, if you ever wanted to do like TV experience in Vegas, I'm going to give you some choices. Um, these are just some examples of information that I gathered. Um, how long a ride is the experience, um, is the experience for a beginner friendly excuse me, is it a beginner friendly experience? What are the age requirements, clothing requirements, documentation requirements such as driver's license, transportation to the experience? Is that provided? Types of experiences they provide, types of vehicles they offer. Those are all the things you should look up on their website or call them to get answers and that'll help ensure you get a better experience, right? Because you don't want to get there and go, oh, I didn't know I needed my driver's license. um, one of the places is called the ATV Experience. They do not provide transportation for you, so you definitely have to get there on your own. Another place is called Las Vegas ATV Dune Tours, which is located on Polaris Drive Avenue. They do provide transportation. So, in other words, they'll pick you up at your hotel. Definitely see their website for more details. Another place is called Awesome Adventures Inc. Um, and on their adventures, you actually stop at an 1861 mining ghost town. Sounds like this would be up Isaac's alley because he likes the whole ghosting thing. They pick up from three major hotels on the strip, so check their website for details. So, those are some places to go ATVing around Vegas. I'd really like to do one of those dune tours. I don't think it'll be this year, but maybe next year. Has anybody done one of the dune tours or ATV experiences? We have any of those outdoorsy folks in here right now? Haven't
I'm not
taken.
gonna tell you what I thought ATV was, but we're just gonna stop.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Do I ask them, people? Do I ask them? Yes, I do. What did you think it was?
Adult televised videos.
Holy
Hell
smokes,
yeah.
this guy.
Hell yeah.
Just when you thought talking about strip clubs and burlesque shows was enough. Nope, here comes Isaac. Oh, you're too funny. All right, you guys. Anybody want to bring up anything else? Want to
I
tell
was gonna
us?
say I haven't even seen the movies, but I was
Go ahead, I mean ASG.
yeah. I might have missed your usual spiel, but I wanted to throw into the regular what to think about in Vegas. Because I forgot to mention it previously, and I don't think anybody else has. If you're going to cash games, either because you have a day off or you're busted or whatever reason, and you want to play cash, look at the Poker Atlas app as well as the Bravo Poker app, and at some places, especially on the Poker Atlas app, you can sign up before you get there, and you have like an hour plus to arrive, and that's how a lot of people get on the list early.
Hell yeah. Definitely use those apps to sign up with. And I will also tell you, Caesar Properties, if you are a diamond member or above on your rewards program, they put you to the top of the list. So if there's 500 people on the list, they put you at the top. Of course, if there's other diamond members or above already on the list, then you'll go to the bottom of those people or that list, and then everybody else falls underneath you. So, pretty sure that's still happening. I haven't heard of that changing. So, having a status at or at a Caesar's property is definitely helpful for the cash games.
Did you say Diamond or 7 Star?
It's diamond or higher.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, diamond or higher. Go ahead, Brandon.
Uh, I don't know why I just thought about this. I saw a tweet from Resorts World that they're offering free parking until I want to say September 1st. I don't know if you guys have covered this already. I've been out for a couple
We
days.
yeah, look, we have, but it's
Yeah,
okay. We didn't say it today, so you're right. For Resorts World is offering free parking through August 28th.
like the only strip casino that offers free parking. If you're not a like a status like you were talking about, like if you're just a regular
Right.
Joe.
Well, and I will say Sahara offers free parking too. Um, just those are the only ones that I know of, so I can't
Hey,
speak on.
Sahara is really a real one though. Shout out to Sahara, like free parking on the strip. You know,
I'm going to tell you, I had never been there until we had our meetup game there, and I loved it.
R.I.P. that poker room. I really liked it.
I
It's
agree.
not.
I thought we found a new gem in the desert, and then they closed it. Damn it!
Thank you, Sean McCormick. Right?
Absolutely, we love Sean McCormick and the MGM properties, and you know they treat us well, and we always have fun, and we love Sean hanging out with us here in the spaces. And what else can I say? Brandon, Brandon's just jealous. We all
I
know
know.
he wants Sean's blue
I
jacket.
do. Sherry, it's not on strip, but since Rio went over to independent management, are they still free parking? Because they were when they were with Caesars.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that's
As
another
far
one. I
as I
mean, I know
know.
it's not on strip, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, as far as I know. And of course, South Point, the Orleans, those are all free parking, right? But I just brought up Sahara because it is on the strip and it is free parking. I don't know. What about the Stratosphere? Is that free parking? I have no idea. I have no clue. But
What about
anyway,
what about the Stratosphere? What?
do they have free parking?
You know what? They should. I mean, but that place is like so sus
Hey,
though,
with that neighborhood, they
right?
should, right?
Yeah, like I mean,
Stop,
that place is
stop.
pretty sus though. Like funny enough, I was looking at that because I'm always a bargain shopper when it comes to
Sure.
looking at stuff in Vegas, and them in the Rio, it's kind of like a competition for who's more sus and more of a risk to go to,
I'm
right
going to
now.
tell you something. I love the Rio. I've never had any problem staying at the Rio. Their rooms were amazing. And not many people are going to say that, but I'm going to tell you, I love the Rio.
Well, I always liked the Rio myself. I always wanted to stay there because in '07 when I got married, I got to like stumble in there and saw what the WSOP was like for like one of the first times in my life. And that was super amazing. I used to love how they used to do the Mardi Gras thing and come through and do all of that. That was really dope. But unfortunately, they fell off since, right? There's somebody
I
who
agree.
I follow for some time now. Her name is Vegas Starfish. She's a
Yep.
blogger, and she did a really dope series where she went to almost every hotel in Vegas
Yep.
with the black light to let you know who's really not keeping up with stuff. And yeah, sadly, the Rio's still not got. They still haven't figured it out since they've been trying to renovate. But I have big hopes for them because it's a dope property. You
For
know,
sure.
it
For sure.
really is. It really is. It's like there's certain properties you don't want to see them go. You know, I don't know. Part of me still hurt at the fact that Binion's in Fremont still doesn't have a poker room. That they destroyed all that history with just some fucking slot machines. But hey, I'm a romantic.
Has
Well,
anybody?
and it's sort of kind of, I'm sorry, it's sort of being a purist too. Don't you think that you just like the history of poker so much you just want to keep it pure, right?
There's that, yeah, and it's the fact that these places are there, but they're not what they were, and you would
Right.
love to see them in that moment again. Rick? How does that feel, Rick? Because you've seen a lot of this history happen. Like, do you feel like that, or you're just like,
Yeah,
ah?
I love the old Binions, and I love the Hall of Fame that they had there, the Poker Hall of Fame that they had there, and it was really cool feel, playing poker at Binions because that's where it all started. That was
Right.
the place where it all started, and seeing those games with Amarillo Slim and Johnny Moss and all those old time and Doyle, all those guys playing there, where they set up special tables for them to play because originally they didn't have a poker room back in the day, and then they finally put one in when they put the Hall of Fame in. So yeah, it's kind of downtown as a special place. It's really a special place, and
I,
especially
I
for
feel like
poker.
downtown doesn't shine how it should anymore.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
agree. I totally agree, because that was where it all started, guys, and you always remember those places where it all started.
Hell
Amen.
yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Amen. Go ahead, Brandon.
So two things. Has anybody stayed at Rio since they remodeled, since they went to the new ownership?
No.
I was just wondering
No, but
how the rooms
that's
were.
when Vegas Starfish went, and she did it after the remodel recently, and their mattresses are still pretty fucked. She found bed bugs. Um, in some rooms, there's no water. I've read a lot of the reviews of the place. Unfortunately, there's a lot of infrastructure issues that they haven't addressed. Um, Interestingly enough, a lot of people say to go there for the pool because you could buy a pool pass there real cheap. But like, yo, they still got the feral cats, which I don't mind. I love cats, but all the other shit, the construction stuff and everything that's lying around, it's still just it's not there. You know,
They haven't
it's just
gotten their
not there
shit together yet.
at all.
What
Actually,
it sounds like.
yeah,
Well, and I'm going to tell you, they kind of got screwed with COVID because they were going to be torn down, and the baseball field. That was the talk back
Yes.
then.
Yeah. That.
no
Yep.
In
way, it was
2000,
gonna
yeah,
Yep.
be there.
Yes.
in 2019,
Wow.
the talk was they were going to tear down the Rio, and the baseball field was going to go there, which to me is definitely still the better option, because the strip is already so congested. Putting a ball field there, come on, you guys. Like, the Rio is just such a better property for that. But anyway, it didn't happen because COVID struck. Durango bought Caesars, then they sold off the Rio, and the Rio is now its own entity, right? But
Yeah,
originally, that's what the talk was in 19 and early 20, and then COVID hit, and Durango took another route. So anyway, and I guess the Tropicana was the jewel they were looking at for that ball field instead. But and I don't know all the ins and outs. That's just the general information I know about it. But it certainly would have been better to, in my eyes, to tear the Rio down, because it's so big and old. Like, it's cheaper to tear it down and build something new than to redo everything you're telling me it needs to be done.
yeah, and they got a hell of a list of stuff to redo. Just it's so dilapidated.
Right.
And it's funny, one thing, this does speak to our architecture in these days. It only takes a year or two for some of these structures, right, to just turn to absolute shit, you know?
Well, and that tells you, the quality of the build, doesn't it?
Most definitely. I mean, the fact that they have taken the old MGM that was the Bally's and now turned it into the Horseshoe, and they're over there fixing that tower, right? The one that
Yep.
faces the Bellagio. I
Yep.
imagine that's going to be real interesting when they finish all that up.
Yep.
I feel like they just built
100%.
places for 20 years now. Maybe that's just my opinion, but
Well, in some cases, even less than that. I mean, I think of the Atlanta baseball field, or the Dome. Like, we had one, and then we have to build another one. We build a new Brave Stadium. Now we just built another Brave Stadium. I've lived in Atlanta since 1987, and we had our Brave Stadium. We built a new Brave Stadium, and now we built another new Brave Stadium. So, it is the sign of the times. And guess what? They figured it out. If we build it, the government is going to help us build it and fund it. So we're going to make money if we build a new one.
good,
Hey,
good for me. That's
thank
all I
you,
need.
Donald Trump, for that shit. Donald Trump's one of the architects of that one right there.
I don't know if he
I'm
is or
still
isn't.
going to Wrigley
No, no,
Field.
I don't mean the field, but I mean of using government funding and everything to help your massive projects.
Well, he's not the only one.
Just
You could go back
just keep
to
building
many
shit. That's all I
names.
know. Just keep building shit.
Hell
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean, we need to increase our GDP, right? So,
That helps me out. Just keep building shit. I don't care what it is. Just build shit.
And
are
let me
you actually working right now, or are you on hiatus?
No,
Aren't
I
you
didn't
going on
get
a
a job
cruise?
today. I'm so close.
So close, but yet so. When do you leave for your cruise?
I'm not going.
Oh, I'm
I'll
well,
sorry.
DM you.
listen to this.
I'll DM
Right,
you.
right when
Saturday.
we're talking about
No worries,
dilapidation,
Brandon. No worries.
my,
What
my,
I
my, my bad to interrupt y'all, but I just saw something so interesting. As I'm talking to y'all, I get a notification A fan got struck by a falling piece of concrete
Oh,
at
at
Dodger
Dodger
Stadium.
Stadium, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh.
That's gonna start some shit. And it's funny because I was about to say Dodger
Oh.
Stadium has renovated like 4 times since opening,
Oh, wow.
and they kept pushing the limit as to how much more they could add more seating. And now that happens right there. That's gonna spark something.
Well, prayers to whoever got injured. And I also want to send, I meant to say this earlier and it just slipped my mind. Say some prayers and good thoughts over to Brad, our other co host, because his son is pretty sick right now. I'm not going to go into anything more than that because it's not my place, but just send some prayers over there. They're dealing with that today. So, hats off or prayers to Brad and his son and family uh, while he's battling a little bit of sickness right now. So, there we go. Anybody else have anything else they want to bring up? Now's the time.
I know there's something, but I probably forgot. Yeah, I did.
Sherry,
I'm
All
looking for
right.
it.
you know, what would be
No.
a good story on your space, your Vegas space, would be what happened to Ted Binion. Like a recap on that. That was a kind of a crazy story.
All right. I will note, I'm writing it down right now. And I think I talked about it when I was working on some of the Hall of Fame stuff last year. But oh, Brandon, I just got your DM. Got it. Okay. Um, I want to say it, we kind of touched on it. Somebody brought it up um, when we talked about the Hall of Famers last year, but I will definitely look that up and bring us some more stuff.
Well, there was no love lost between him and Becky, that's for sure.
No
Well, of
doubt. Yeah.
course.
It's
Of
a very
course.
crazy story. Like if you really go into it,
Yeah,
it's wild.
yeah, it is. It's a
And
crazy.
that let's just leave that as a dangler
Exactly.
for right
That's
now.
what I was trying to do.
And then we will come back to it in a day or two.
That's a juicy
And
one.
and I'm going to tell you something. I see Joey in here joining us this morning. So we're going to pivot to him because he's probably on his way to play poker or host poker or whatever. So what's up, Joey Ingram? Welcome.
How's it going? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can. What's up,
Yeah.
Easy?
What's up? I was invited by Bathwater for Buy-ins, who's got
Hell yeah.
one post where it's him quoting Tate McRae how you drink their bathwater. So shout out to Bathwater for Buy-ins for the tag, and I'm awake at 9 a.m. So this is a good time to join. And yeah, how's it going? How's everything been going with your spaces?
Well, it's been going well, thank you. And I'm just gonna. Do you know the history of bathwater for buy-ins?
Oh God, surprisingly, I do not know the history of
Okay.
Bathwater for Buy-ins, but I can only imagine.
All right. Let me give you the lowdown because I think it's first of all, it's hilarious, and it's really the only troll account that I have not blocked because the troll accounts are just so annoying when we do spaces. So anyway, I was interviewing um, Ash Kardash. And she was talking about getting some DMs from creepers, right? And some of them asking her for pictures and, foot pictures, toe pictures. And somebody asked her for bathwater. And I said something, well, there you go. You should start selling your bathwater for buy-ins. And hence, within 5 minutes, we had a bathwater for buy-ins troll account.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if anyone out there wants to buy some bath water, I'll take a bath, and then I'll go play. I'll go play the WSOP with the buy-in. So maybe,
All right.
maybe, maybe that could be one of my challenges. I do is I try to sell my bath water for a buy-in.
I love it. And you heard
And
it here first, people.
oh god,
Bath water for buy-ins for Joey.
this is AI. This is not real. This is the AI talking right now. Not no one's selling their bath water. But
It
yeah,
is funny to think about, though, right?
It's
What do you
crazy
got
that
going
you
on
could
at
use that one though in 2025. You could say, "Yeah, it's not me, it's AI." By the way, I love that. Hell yeah!
not
Joey?
me.
What do you got going on at the Venetian today, bud?
Today, yeah, last night we did a WPT party. I was invited to that. That was a lot of fun. They hosted it at Old Red, so they basically took over the third floor
Nice.
lounge of Old Red, and then had a bunch of people there. It was a lot of fun. A lot of the WPT people were there, and content creators were there, and it was great, really great time. Played poker after with Abby Poker, and Corey Iring, and bunch of other content creators, Alex Duval, and who else was there? Alex Lovelace was there. The new guy, WPT James, was there. The new young guy who's doing a lot of funny content for them was there. Yeah, it was a good time. I mean,
Awesome.
WSOP's always like there's always like a billion things going on. So, but yeah,
Hell
tonight
yeah.
at the Venetian, I'm hosting. I organized a party for Frankie C for his brownie. All in Brownie is going to be launching. So we basically, I set up. There's just one of my favorite places there called Sushi Samba. So they got this brand new back room there that nobody really knows about. So I set up a private event back there. Probably be like, I don't know, 20, 30, 20 to 40 people, maybe more, maybe less, who really knows. But yeah, so it's the first time I'm trying because I've been organizing these meetup games there, and I've been bringing in content creators there, and I've been, taking a lot of my people there and just having private games, stuff like that. But this is the first time I've tried hosting a official party in one of the restaurants, which is something I'm going to be doing more of, and yeah, basically taking my content a little bit outside of the poker room and inside the casino. So yeah, that'll be fun. That's going to be later tonight, and I know he's invited a bunch of people, so we'll see how that goes.
That sounds like a lot of fun to me. You guys
Yeah.
have been doing some meetup games and some live broadcasts over there in the new live table, which looks great, I might add.
Yeah, that's the stream. I mean, the Poker Go is kindly mainly working on the stream, and the Venetian's doing their final tables on there, and then they're doing that 100 200 game with Oaken and JRB, and Oaken and JRB are bringing in a lot of the players. So those guys seem to know everybody. So it's it seems like they got a good schedule going on. I played on there once, and they want me to play more on the show. So I'd never really played Hold'em on a stream before, so I did this heads up match with Frankie and beat him in that heads up match. But that was the first time I really played Hold'em on a stream in a very, very, very long time. So that was fun. But yeah, the stream's going well. I mean, it's just a matter of with most streams and most shows, you just got to keep doing it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and build up your community and build up your regulars and build up your storylines and build up your fan base and let people know about the show. So we're kind of in month February, March, April, May, month 5 now. So
Nice.
still pretty early, but
Right?
it's pretty much. I mean, that show's going to crush it. If that show goes on for 2 to 3 years, then it's just inevitable that if you just keep doing high stakes and keep doing final tables and you develop some personalities and develop some characters, that you're going to have a successful show. So yeah.
100%. And it's definitely it looks great on screen. The folks that have been playing have been great characters for sure. It's been very entertaining.
Cool.
I've been busy.
Glad people like it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
for
lot to
sure.
watch. There's so many live streams these days, and I barely have enough time to watch. I'm playing poker every day, so I'm mainly studying poker. So if I'm watching poker, I'm mainly watching training content or GTO Wizard content, or I have like 5 coaches I watch, and that's kind of what I would do if I'm going to be watching poker. But there's clips and there's hands and there's articles and stuff like that. So I still try to keep up with a lot of stuff, but I definitely haven't been able to keep a lot of the LA stuff. I haven't really been able to follow anymore. Even a lot of Texas stuff, I see some bits and pieces of it, but I don't really get to follow that. So I'm kind of
You
just
know, we
hyper
were
focused on
talking about
Vegas.
that the other day. There's so much that you just don't have enough hours in the day. You just don't. And I
Absolutely not.
love that, but at the same token, I'm kind of disappointed because I feel like I'm missing some stuff.
I feel that, Sherry, so much. Hey, Joey, I wonder, what are you playing? Any events that you got coming up that we can look forward to seeing
Well,
you in?
I was thinking about that yesterday. I'd love to play cash games every day. I'd love to play tournaments every day, but I think I'm just way too busy with other stuff. And a lot of my focus has been on, other parts of building my business and not necessarily being addicted to 12-hour poker days every day during the summer, which is how some summers might go. And then other summers might just be seeing people or trying to be a healthy life. Or some summers I drink every single day and stay out till 5 a.m. So I feel like this summer is going to be a mix of a little bit of everything with some cash games. And then I'll probably I'm going to play the main event for the first time. And then I'll play the 10K PLO probably. But yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I want
you're
to play. I want to play all the events, but I'm just like, once you get down that road, you end up addicted, and then you don't do anything else with your life. So it's like you got to
you
make
got to
sure that,
balance. Got to balance.
yeah.
And
So
that means all that time in the lab you're putting in is going to pay off in that main event. You've heard it here, people.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
grinding these trainers. I've probably done like 500,000. I mean, I actually done more than that, but I've done like 500,000 hands or spots in the past year, probably like a year and a half or 2 years, and then I started studying tournaments after when I was going to do that WPT, and I went deep in that. And now I actually got pretty good at tournaments. So Because these the trainers, I don't know if you guys use Wizard or GTO Lab, but like these trainers, if you just do them every day, you get really, really good at pre-flop. So
Absolutely. And we have a lot of folks in this space that use GTO. I can tell you that we just have discussions on it and study groups on it, and
cool.
definitely some GTO users in this space. Now, I brought up bathwater for buy-ins because I'm sure that person has something to say or play for us. So I'm going to give bathwater a chance. Go ahead, your turn. Bathwater, it's you.
Mr. Water, are you there?
Oh,
Must be
I like this.
queuing up. Hold
This
on.
adds to the lore. This adds to the lore.
Oh
Queuing up.
boy.
Hold up. Did Sydney Sweeney just sell her bathwater? Yep, the Euphoria star teamed up with Dr. Squatch to launch Sydney's Bathwater Bliss, a limited edition soap made using her actual bathwater. And guess what? It drops on June 6th for just $8 a bar. Fans are going wild, and it's already stirring up major buzz.
Thank you for that update, Bathwater for buy-in. See,
I'm sold. I'm in for at least one cup.
I'm taking.
one
I'm
cup.
buying one bar.
And
Whatever that is, I'm in.
it's so funny. Oh my God. ASG, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was just seeing if I don't know if you've commented any of their games yet, but if you're planning on playing with Josh and Wayne in their game anytime in the near future.
You mean the PLO professor and Donkinfish?
Yeah, unless if there's any other PLO games going on at the Venetian that I'm not aware of, but yeah, as far as I know, it's their game.
So there, yeah, I did. The first time they played on Shireen, they asked me if I wanted to commentate. So yeah, I did commentate the first time they played the three. They played like the three mix with the double board and the PLO 5 and then the PLO high. So I commentate on that. I've been getting to know them. I just really met them a couple months ago, and I've been trying to talk to them more and get to know them more and kind of see what they're all about. And but yeah, they're doing their mix game, and they sort of play a mix with Big O, which I really not a fan of Big O, but I don't know. They're kind of convincing me to try it out. Every time I go into the casino, they always try to get me to play their game, and whenever they're playing, so I'll probably try it out one time, and it looks fun. They always play it. But PLL Professor, that guy's a fucking ringer, so you gotta be careful for that guy. He's got his three game setup going on, and he's a professor teaching on a whiteboard at schools, the great game of Putnam in Omaha. So that guy is a pretty damn good player. So yeah, he's yeah, I'm really curious about him because we've been talking about getting to having a PLO discussion with each other because he's the only person I've ever really met besides maybe Dylan Weissman, Dr. GTO, or Phil Galfond, who really, really love PLO. So yeah, he seems like an interesting guy.
Hey, listen, we're having a meetup game at the Bellagio on June 21st at 1 p.m., dude. Mark it on your calendar.
Okay. How the wait, the Bellagio? I like the Bellagio. Is that your
Yeah.
normal meetup game spot, or is that where your guys' crew normally does your games?
This will be the second one there.
Okay, that's cool. That sounds like fun.
It
What do
was
you
a
got?
lot of fun.
What do you guys do? Do you guys do a few tables and then do some giveaways, and then or how does it all work?
Yep, we have we start out with 4 tables typically, and we do splash the pots. And of course, you saw at the Sahara, we have a variety of different items for splash the pots. This so far we have some books and some like makeup bags and some gift cards to give away. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag for everything yet, but so we have some great splash the pot items, some swag, and of course the Bellagio gave us and Aria gave us some swag to give away last time. Free pizza, of course, and there's a bobblehead shark tournament, or not tournament, bobblehead shark, easy for me to say, trophy up for grabs for whoever walks away the winner that day after 4 hours. So, and of course, the game will go longer.
You give a winner for the biggest winner. So winner gets a prize.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Wolfie, which he sat next to you at the Sahara meetup game, has always been a big winner leaving the meetup game. So I decided to kind of pay him homage by having a Wolfie trophy. And we couldn't find a good looking Wolfie trophy, but so he picked out a bobblehead shark trophy. So it's
Okay,
actually the
cool.
Wolfie Award. And we decided to give it away to whoever has the biggest chip stack after 4 hours so that people can leave if they needed to. Everybody's got a schedule. So Of course, the meetup game will go longer than that, but we figured if we gave a 4 hour time frame, people can come and go as they need to.
Yeah, that's cool. I just started hosting these meetups, so like I'm pretty much a newbie and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I've been trying to think about different things and different, kind of things what you just described, where you
Right.
have your different giveaways, or you have like a trophy, or you have awards, or you have, the Venetian. I got a pretty good budget at the Venetian to give away experiences inside the Venetian in the
Nice.
Sphere and in the restaurants and all this stuff like that. So I'm trying to think, okay, well, like how do I make this
Okay.
fun? Do I just splash the pot with one, or do I do a receipt draw, or am I doing a big
Okay.
stack and stuff like that? But it
Let
sounds like
me
you got the
let me
experience
give
with
you
that.
the best advice I can give you for hosting a meetup game as far as giving stuff away.
Perfect.
Because this makes not only the players very happy, but it makes the dealers extremely happy. And, when you're slowing down a cash game, the dealers aren't typically happy. So, what I do is, and Jamie Kurtzetter will tell you, I started it at her meetup games, the women's meetup games 2 years ago. Um, when it's time to do a splash the pot, everybody just annies up, so to speak. So one big blind, everybody puts it in. We play the cards face up. Whoever wins the hand face up, there's no more betting, wins the splash the pot item. The dealer gets the pot.
And so you just ante a big blind. So if you're playing like 1-3, you just put in, everyone will put in three, and then the dealer will
Yes.
get 24, and then the winner of the pot will get whatever the reward is, or the
Yes.
random prize. Yeah, I like that too. So that way the dealer
Yes.
gets some money as well.
Yes. And the player that may not want that item doesn't have to play the hand.
Right, exactly. So that way they don't have to get something that they don't necessarily want to get, or they
Exactly.
might not ever use, like some specific gifts or whatever. They might
Right.
just not. Yeah. So the
Right.
people that pay, so it's like kind of like you're paying in a way to win it. Maybe it actually means more to you because you put in the $3 versus just getting like a random prize where you put in nothing, and then maybe you don't care at all. Versus $3 might actually make you care a little more about what you win.
Right. And the dealers love it because they're getting a big ass tip.
Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
I'll come deal that game for you. How's that?
Isaac was a guest at that game when I started it for my meetup games. What did you think of that concept, Isaac?
I ran like a god when it came to splash the pot, so I fucking love it. I did pretty good at the last one too. I just didn't get any of the gear, but yeah, like I kept getting the splash the pots. It's great. What I like the most though is I do like that the dealer gets a big ass tip. It was also cool that whenever the dealer change would happen, if we're playing No Limit Hold'em obviously, but we would do like a bomb pot, right, or a PLO bomb pot or something like that, which I thought was dope to switch it up for that one hand. So definitely cool. Definitely cool.
And I'm going to tell you, all the tables are 1-3 no limit until they get there. If their table wants to do something different, that's up to them.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of what I've been doing. I've just been saying, okay, we'll do like one PLO or two PLOs, and then a couple hold them, and then people want to play higher stakes, then
Right.
I just let them put a straddle on. That's kind of what's been happening is people just go crazy, and all of a sudden some tables are 1-3, 10, 40, and then other tables like Sarah. I know if Sarah's smart is she just started working with the Venetian, and she came to my last game, and she was like, yeah,
Love
it
her.
was a 1-2 50 100 game basically, because a lot of people I know, they all play really high stakes, so they'll come. Like Texas Mike was at the last game, and
Yeah.
he just won the 200K the night before, I think, on the show, he said, and then the next day he's playing in the 1-3 game. So he basically was all in every single hand for a few hours, and he brought his brother, and he brought his one of his other friends. So yeah, my game's been getting a lot of control. I mean, when I saw one of my old roommates in my last one, and now he plays like 100, 200. So a lot of these people just go there and they're just firing. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because I kind of feel like it prices out a few
Well, and I was going
normal
to say,
players,
it just
right?
depends on your crowd because my crowd would not appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, maybe they would if Texas Mike was in there going to melt every hand and everyone at the table. Isaac was up 6K, but if you guys are losing, then obviously it's pretty.
No, no, that's facts though. I hear you. It's like you could go in there and it's almost like a slot machine. If he's going all in every hand, fuck it. Let me throw 100. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it gets out of line fast, and
And so, just so people know, Sarah is Sarah O'Connor. You guys, who's come in here and hung out with us before, so you guys will know who Joey's talking about. Remember, she got the job over at the Venetian. She was telling us about. So, just so you guys know, that's who Joey is talking about.
Hell yeah,
Was
love Sarah.
yeah, she
mm-hmm.
seems like I just met her for the first time the other day, and seems like a really good writer. I mean,
Yes.
I'm glad we got some fresh content creation blood inside the Venetian room, kind of telling some stories
And guess
and
what? We're glad you got fresh blood too. Now, the only other thing I want to suggest to you is you have to figure out a way to hook me up with an Eagles ticket, sir, for the Sphere. So there you go. There's my plug.
you need one Eagles ticket for the
Yep,
Sphere. How many Eagles tickets? One?
one.
One? You're
Maybe
going by
two,
yourself, or what's the
maybe
plan?
One.
three.
I will go by myself. I'll take two,
I'll go with
but
Sherry. You know.
I will take two, but I need at least one for myself.
Are you going to be playing poker during this Eagles concert visit, or what? Let me see when the dates are for this. Are you going to be playing? Are you going to be documenting this? Or are you making like a reel, or what's? Are you going to be making some
I,
content of this
All of that
of the
could
show?
happen if it'll
all of that
facilitate.
above, all of the above, we will make content.
Do you got a preferred date? It's next ones are in September and October. Do you got a preferred a month?
Let's see. October is my birthday month.
All right. So wouldn't it be better? What's your birthday?
My birthday is October 17th.
We almost had a sweat there. We had a 5 days in October, and unfortunately, your birthday's not one. But there is the 11th and the 31st. So
11th, is that a weekday or weekend?
the 11th is a I have no idea. It's just as a
Let
one
me look
second.
it up.
But yeah, let's keep that in mind. I'm down to support you on your Eagles dream to make that happen in the
Yes.
Sphere.
Okay, I'm looking at I'm looking at a calendar. The 11th would be amazing.
Okay, so let's keep the 11th in mind for that. And but I'm pretty sure I'd have to get it either. I've never got a Sphere ticket yet, so normally I have a process I go through where I just submit what I want to get for comps, and then the person might get it. So it might have to happen later on. I'll check with my
Okay.
director to see what he thinks is GTO. But I'm happy to help you support the Shreem, and you've obviously been a big supporter of my show for a very, very, very long time. You've always been in the chat for a very, very long time. So
Well, thank you.
happy to support the show, happy to support the Stream, and yeah. So yeah, let's make that happen. Like a special. Maybe there's like a Sphere. I don't know. Maybe there's like a Sphere and a game or something like that, or the game could be after, the game could be before. I guess before it doesn't really leave you much time. So the Sphere show usually happens at about 7, and then once people get out, then the whole casino. It's really crazy. The Venetian, it's a crazy place to be because I've never really worked with an official, like regular brick and mortar casino where I'm like,
Right.
more than just like a one-off event. And just being there, and I try to go there every day. I try to just feel the vibes, and the place is so packed every single night at like midnight. And I'm like, how the hell do these guys make this casino so packed every night at midnight? And the Sphere lets out at about like 11:30 with some of the
Right.
shows, and then there's literally the hallway is just slammed. And I don't know how many people are going to end up in the Sphere, but the whole hallway's packed like it's 2 p.m. for a convention, and I'm just like, this is an amazing setup. I mean, it's really
It's
yeah.
a great side effect of building the Sphere, isn't it?
Yeah. When you get a sick, that's what I learned. When you have a sick theater, if you've got like a sick performance center where people want to go see somebody there, and then where are they going to go after the show or before the show, or where are they going to stay when the show is going on? They're going to stay on your property. They're going to eat restaurants in your casino. They're going to go to shows in your casino. They're obviously going to gamble in the casino. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't realize how big the convention and the music's part of things, and the comedians and the all these different elements make up what makes a really popular casino. It's not just one layer. There's like so many layers that go into it, and poker's one of those layers in a way. It brings in players, and a lot of people look forward to playing tournaments, and a lot of people look forward to playing cash games. But the other parts, the convention part, is way, 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 way bigger. And so yeah, we're trying to put on a poker convention. So you never know. We'll see, to be determined. And we're also trying to put on a poker game in the Sphere. So we started this committee for kind of move that ahead. We haven't really talked much about it yet.
Let me know if I can help you. I'll be happy to help you. Anyway, you need an extra set of hands on deck. Let me know.
I think we'll need all the help for that. But I mean, that's kind of the vision, is like, how do we get a poker game in the Sphere? I mean, where else should a poker game be? The biggest buying game of all time in the Sphere. Alan Keating in the Sphere. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? So
Love that. Love that. Love that. And I appreciate you working on an Eagles ticket or two for me in October. I need you to follow me so I could send you DMs, dude, especially the reminder for the meetup game.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, send me a reminder for that.
Yes, for sure. And you just don't know. I was just telling them about an hour ago, if you see me on a corner in Vegas, mind your own business. I'm working for an Eagles ticket. So here you are.
Working for an Eagles.
Well,
I literally just
People
said
do
that
what
in
they.
this space about an hour ago.
we just had a great show here in Florida where I live. It was Flo and Eddie from the Turtles, Gary Puckett, and the Cowsills. So
Oh my God. Now, Joey, I
Let's get
don't
it.
know if you know Rick O'Connor or not, but he used to run what is now the Hard Rock in Tulsa, and he used to run the Scotty Wynn series.
Oh, cool. So he's a real OG of the poker
Yes.
game. Cool. Great.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Rick. I don't think I
I
think I met you
meet
before.
you too, man. You got some great stuff going on. Good for you.
Thank you, sir. I'm graduating. You know, when I started when I was 21 in the poker world, and now I'm getting old and I'm almost 40. So now
Oh,
I feel like this is the evolution. You know, I was a content creator for a long time, causing
you could,
mayhem.
my
Now I got
oldest son is 47, so
yeah,
he's
right.
a poker player too. So
That's cool. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
trying to evolve to like the next era of my poker career where I get more
You're,
into live events and maybe be a little more behind the scenes and
you're,
learn how that organization stuff works and learn how the casino works and stuff like that. So it's a new experience, but it sounds like
good
that's
for
what
you.
you're. Yeah, it sounds like that's what. So you did the Scotty Wynn series.
Yeah,
You did his.
I
Cool.
actually I opened poker and table games in the state of Oklahoma for the Cherokee Nation, and we Scotty's wife was from Tulsa, and he came in one day, and and she came in and said, "Hey, you guys looking for an ambassador for your new poker room?" And so bingo, there it went. And he played for us for 3 years, and we had the Scottywood Poker Challenge for many years. We started with 3 casinos along in the state of Oklahoma, and ended up with 5, and we hosted tournaments all around at those different poker rooms. And Scotty played in every one of them, and we had a lot of fun. He brought Mathisau came out, and Flack came out. All his buddies came out and played. Mike Sexton flew in from Europe after doing a WPT event and came out and played in these events with us. And we had Jimmy Sommerfeld was our tournament director. We had 50 tables in the main venue, and every one of them had an electronic shuffler on it. And then we had we had a high limit room on the side. We had 5 tables, but we actually took slot machines out to put in tournament tables. So my best friend, who was my best man, was our COO. So that's how that worked. But but we
So
had
was it one tournament with Scotty or was it like a series of tournaments or
no,
like
we had
what
a
went all the
series of
players?
tournaments. We did a number of series of tournaments, and then we ended up broadcasting them as well. We taped them and broadcast them, and Jan Fisher and oh my goodness, I can't.
Linda Johnson?
Linda Johnson, yes, they came in and Linda hosted it, and Jan did the like she did for the WPT. She did all the calculating and things like that, and yeah, we actually put it on a CBS network in that tri-state area there, and it was pretty cool. Nam Lee won one of them. Keto Pham won one of them. So we had some big name players come and play in them. So we had a lot of fun, and
Cool. That sounds pretty sick. I mean, that's like that sounds exactly what everyone wants to try. I'm trying to build something, similar vision of that, where it's kind
yeah.
of what you described, where you have your friends coming in, you have, it's broadcasted. I mean, it sounds like you were way ahead of your time. What year was that, or was this in the
That was
2000s?
probably in 2005, 6, and 7.
Cool. So you were kind of
So
like the Heartland Poker. It was like the Heartland Poker Tour, kind of where.
basically, yeah, because they
Yeah,
had
that's cool.
poker in Oklahoma, and there were a lot of poker players. Barry Johnson, Hall of Famer from Oklahoma. A lot of guys, and the Texas guys. We were only about 5 hours from Amarillo and Dallas and that. And the Texas guys came and played. Because there were $5,000 and $10,000 buy-in tournaments.
Wait a
And
minute. Didn't Ben Lamb deal for you?
yeah, he was one of our dealers, and he played. We had 2 PLO games. I've said this before. We've had 2 PLO games going on when everybody came into town. There was $1 million on the table. So, and Ben, I allowed my dealers were only 18. They could deal at 18, and they could play in the room, and that's how Ben kind of cut his teeth on these big games in that room when we started up poker in Oklahoma. So, yeah,
Damn.
fun days. We had some. We had every tournament opened with a Jack and Jill or I guess now you can be a Jack and Jack or a Jill and Jill. I don't care. But what that's we call it a Jack and Jill. And Scotty would play with his wife, and Matizow would play with his girlfriend. You know, we would have 1,500 entrants
Oh my God.
into that Jack
Oh
and
my.
Jill, and it really kicked off the whole series the next 9 days. It really, it was a lot of fun too.
That's when poker was really fun.
Yeah, we did, and you couldn't get knocked out in the first level. You know, there's because a lot of guys would have their wives play in the first level, and you couldn't get knocked out. We'd give you another set of chips to go to the second level. So everybody could play. You know what I mean? Everybody got a shot to play at one of the two levels. So we had a lot of fun.
That's
So
cool. That sounds like a phenomenal idea, like a
good day.
tag team
Yeah.
style.
Yep. They were fun. Everybody really looked forward. And that was the first tournament of the series of tournaments. So we had some fun times in those days. And Scotty, we had a birthday party for him, a couple of birthday parties for him, where we flew his mother in from Vietnam, and then we told him none of his buddies were coming, and we blindfolded them, and they all came in. Things like that.
So cool.
Yeah.
Didn't that casino like sponsor Scotty?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Like I said, we had a contract with him, and he played very well for us. That's when he won some of the big events in those years. And one year he won $2 million. So it was like, and he was a great ambassador for us. This is really before he kind of went off the ledge there in 2008, but he played very well for us, and we had a great relationship with him. And I'll tell you the first, like I've told the story before. He came in at midnight with his mother, and I had my entire staff there meeting him in the atrium, and I gave him a rousing applause, and you could see the tears coming out of his mother's eyes. And then he went in to our poker room. And it was midnight, and they flew in from Vegas, and we still had 7 games going, and he went around and shook everybody's hand at every table. And that's how it started out with Scotty, and he was just amazing. I mean, we dragged him all over the state to play and to be on radio shows and TV shows, and he was always on the morning show live. And he played against the morning show host, and of course I set the decks up on him, things like that, and we give the host 4 of a kind, and Scotty'd have a straight flush, because they're throwing their, Scotty's throwing his Rolex into the middle, and the host says, well, I'll take off my watch, I'll throw that in the middle too, so it was just fun times. And he was really at his best in those days. He was really confident, and he was doing well in those days because he was making money and doing well. So
Well, and I'm going to tell you that Ric and Scotty still remain the best of friends till today.
Yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. So, and I appreciate Eric did having him on the Spaces so he could get his story out.
Well, and it was such a delight to have him on and interview him for sure. And you guys can find that interview on my YouTube channel if you missed it. So anyway, Joey, what else is going on? You loving life in Vegas, dude?
What else?
New turn?
My love and life in Vegas. Well, it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than so I'm still playing poker all the time. So poker is like a full-time commitment if you want to get really, really good. So I'm just trying to be focused every day, grinding every day, at least studying every day, trying to play. I'm trying to play a lot more. So just trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be and what I want to focus on, and if I want to do higher stakes or lower stakes or tournaments or online. And there's just so many options now. So it's it's kind of just figuring that out. But yeah, I'm just working a lot. I'm doing a lot of research.
And I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Ever since I've tuned into you, so to speak, you always talk about being in the lab to investigate this, being in the lab to figure this out. I am excited to hear that you're in the lab for yourself right now. That's amazing and very cool.
There you go. Oh, that's working. Okay, yeah, thank you. I mean, I guess you could say that. Yeah, I'm just, I did the content stuff for a long time, so now I'm just trying to really not get into that. I still got to do some YouTube stuff, and I still have my podcast, and I'm supposed to be doing more podcasts at the Venetian than I have been putting out. So there are things I do want to talk about and stuff, but I've just been trying to keep to myself and hang out with my girl, and I got my friends around Vegas, and I go to a lot of events and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to not get all crazy online. You see how people can get online, especially when you're trying to be a content creator who's doing a show and you want to get attention. And if you want to get attention, you have to do certain things. You have to post certain kind of content. You have to talk about certain topics, and you have to inject yourself into conversations, and you have to present, like, I mean, if you present your story one way, it's all about marketing. It's all about how you present whatever you're talking about. So I think that world, I was in that world for a long time, and yeah, I'm very happy to not be doing that as much. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little different, and it's not quite as much, it's not what I'm used to, but yeah, I'm trying to approach it a little bit. I'm just getting old, Sherry, right? I mean, once you get a little older, it's like, you don't want to deal with all this bullshit. Like all these,
Priorities change, don't they?
yeah, exactly. So,
Priorities change. Listen, Barry has his hand up. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, thanks. I just came up to throw a bouquet to Scotty also. Yeah, thanks to Rick and Sherry. They got me in touch with Scotty to appear at charity poker tournament I did in April, and everybody loved him. And he went around to everybody, took pictures with everybody, autographs, whatever they wanted. They really loved him, and they're looking forward to him coming back next year. They flew him in first class, best hotel in Manhattan, show up fee. So he really liked it. His daughter was there, and she was amazed at the reception he got. Good stuff. And I was just at the Venetian. I saw went over to the film room, whatever, the streaming room, and I saw my old friend Brian. I know him over 20 years, and JRB was there. It was before the stream was live, so I got a chance to talk to him a little bit. But it was good. They run good mixed game tournaments over at the Venetian, so good stuff.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Barry. I'm glad that I could play a small part in helping you get Scotty to that event for sure.
Yeah, end up raising 1.3 million, so it's a great event every year.
You do a great job. You work hard on it. So, congratulations to you for working on it for so many years.
Thanks again.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, shout out to that was Barry Levy, right? I didn't say his name if it was lighting up, but
Yes. Yes.
okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen him. I saw him at the Venetian there. He posted about playing one of the tournaments. So, and I've seen him host some spaces. I don't know much about him, but I've seen him host some spaces, and I try to see this. There's a few people that are in spaces all the time. I try to like keep up with what's happening, but I really like so much. I feel like there's so many people arguing all the time. It's just really hard to like know exactly what the hell's going on, or like who's on whose side, or like who's like, I don't know. There's a guy named Elf I see. He's always like fighting with people, and then there's a guy named Fats I see who's always fighting with like Omar, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these guys? So I don't really know like what's going on. But I do know that I see some of the same names all the time, so it's cool to hear some of the voices. And
yeah, I've
Well,
been around a long time, probably since 1990. So
you're a
and
true OG.
you need to watch the I don't know, is it considered documentary, Barry, the allegedly?
yeah, if you give me a follow, Joy, I'll send it to you. It's there's a 6 minute version and a 2 hour version. First, I'll start you with the 6 minute version. We go back to those, Brian Koppelman and Mayfair Days and all that stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I just follow you. Send me if you got something, and yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
you got a lot of the OGs in your chat, Sherry. This is a lot of the 25-year veterans who
exactly.
really know how what poker's all about. You know what I mean?
The
So
real poker lovers of the world. That's what we're about.
cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's
And
cool.
don't forget to follow me too, so I can send you some stuff.
Yeah, I followed you on here. You can send
Okay.
me
Yep.
send me what you got. Send me
All
what
right.
you got on here.
Yep. We want to
Shout-
talk poker here, Joey. That's what we're about. We're not about arguing.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I don't mind arguing sometimes. I'm just like, you got to really know what's going on and keep up and stuff like that. So I'm just more focused on my poker stuff and my business, and then try to like, you only have so much energy to like consume other stuff in the meantime. So I normally just try to watch content that's typically aligned with what my goals are. So it ends up being, investors or poker players or people that are running businesses and talking about how to not go crazy, so it's just like never ending challenges when you do your own thing. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
And let me tell you that Nick Schulman is in that
Nick Schulman.
video that he's going to
Cool.
tag you in. So
he's the GOAT. Love it. I love Nick Schulman.
I know.
Back when he was a kid.
Yeah, back when he was a kid. How old was he when he was like 18?
Yeah, it's the early days. So
yeah.
I think this was at least 15 years ago.
It really documents like poker, the underground games in New York. It's really
okay.
And Barry is in it, so you'll get a little bird's eye view of Barry's life in poker.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, I'm always interested in those kind of stories, and obviously New York, underground New York. It's got its whole lore. I feel like people don't talk about it as much anymore as they used to, where it used to be like a big part of the conversations. But now most people, when they play underground, they usually keep it underground. They're not really publicly talking about their LA games or their Vegas games or their New York games. But there's a huge. I mean, the underground poker world right now is maybe bigger than it's ever been, and I guess I don't hear it talked about much publicly on YouTube and Twitter. But so I guess this documentary is about that version of New York back in the day when maybe it was
Yes.
a different kind of vibe, I guess.
Yes. And
That's cool.
as far as underground games in my state, allegedly that we have, not that I would know firsthand by running one, but we have to be careful what we're saying because, people want to come and steal our money from us or,
Oh wow.
report us. So, and social media spreads the word way too fast.
Well,
Before
I
you
think
talked about it, just at a poker game, hey, come to my game
I,
Saturday.
I
Now
think
it's all over.
the movie Molly's Game kind of changed everything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, probably.
Because it exposed that all
Yeah.
that. So you don't want to have that kind of exposure, So
Well, what
that's
amazes me is like I would think that too. Like I've never really played in these games, and like like number one rule I was taught when I first started playing poker professionally was do not play a private game, and especially a live private game. So like anytime I get invited to a live private game, it's an instant red flag. Like first of all, why are they inviting me? And second of all, like I don't know, I just don't go, right? Because I don't know the fucking game, I don't know the dealer, I don't know anything about the game, and these people are not going to invite you and say, hey, we're going to steal your fucking money. They're going to say, hey, come have a seat. We got some food, we got some drinks, we'll give you a massage. I mean. So they're going to come with a smile and they're going to leave with a pat on the back and say, hey, sorry about that bad beat. So like I've always, it was the number one rule I was taught when I first started. So I really never got into that world. I was like, I just started doing other things with my life because that's what most poker players in America have done is they found a private game and they just play that private game. And if the game breaks, they go to a new game. And that's how they're typically going to be building their poker business. So it's obviously an option in Vegas where there's private games in casinos, and there's some that are in other places too that a lot of people play. But what you just said is that they want to keep it underground. I've actually found that to be the opposite almost, where like there's a lot of games that are super well known that I'm surprised how well known they are. And kind of what Sherry said, I mean, I don't know. I've wondered about that for a long time because people are so public with their games and like it's such a huge part of poker and
what we did with the
gambling.
Hard Rock is we did like what they did at the Bellagio with Doyle's room. So a number of the Hard Rocks have private rooms where you can. I know at Tampa for sure you can bring because there's a lot like John Racner and a bunch of these guys are from Florida. You can bring a private game into the private room. And that way you're protected and you've got everything you need to do a private game. So the two Hard Rocks here in Florida, in Miami and Tampa, they do have these rooms where you can host your own private game.
Well, and in Georgia, we don't have poker rooms, so we have barns and basements. So
and a lot of peaches.
And you better keep your mouth shut about where we're at tonight.
That's right. You better.
If you don't have a fucking personal invite and show up, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like that's obviously the benefit of being in Vegas is you got all these casinos here and stuff like that. I mean that's basically why I'm living here. The only reason I'm still living here is because I'm still doing poker, and it's just such a great spot to be for all that. Because if you're in a different state, like you said, there's all these other rules and laws and restrictions, and people still take the risk. But I'm trying to work with these licensed casinos, and like Rick said, that's what they've offered me. They've offered me like, oh, do you want to do a private game? Do you want to have your own room, or do you want to have your own table and stuff like that? So I haven't, I tried out a few events and haven't really done a ton of, I'm not doing it like a regular thing, but
right.
It's something I've been considering because if you can make your own game, obviously we've seen if you look at like the data for every poker stream and you look at the top winners, it's like. These people are making a lot of money, and it's because you get to invite anybody to your game. So instead of you building a regular game with 6 strong players who instantly go to their phone every time they fold, then now you build a game around people who are coming there to play. They want to have fun. They don't mind if they lose, and they're there more for a fun environment, which is it's a very different vibe in Vegas, like public versus private games. It's such a different world. So, I've been really considering that to actually take that route and do more private games because
Well, get to know some of the poker room managers. We had when I went to Immokalee to do the Seminole Casino Hotel in Immokalee, we built a private game even in our small little poker room there. That was
Mhm.
a huge PLO game that the Mizrachi brothers and Chino Ream and those guys would come and play in because there's a number of local guys there that had a lot of money that liked playing PLO and a bunch
Mhm.
of like giving it away too. So we had a special table for them and we gave them everything. They wanted a room in the hotel at night, food, all the food they wanted, and it was a local guy that basically hosted this game. And when those guys heard about it over in Miami, they would come over to Immokalee, drive the 2 hours to play in that game. Scotty played in it a number of times. Some other did. So talk to some of the poker managers, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's a kind of a risk-free deal to set it up in one of the casinos.
Yeah.
Well, you got the
Interesting.
Venetian on your side, so you have the one of the best properties to do what you're doing at for sure, Joey.
We'll see.
Um, we're gonna let Barry. He has his hand up. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, you had mentioned Molly's game. When Molly first came from LA to New York, before she got the first stop she made was to the guy in this the documentary, I think a 6 minute clip. Uh, and she came to us before she hooked up with Eddie Ting. I think they called him Eddie Chin in the movie. So that's when she started taking a rake, allegedly, all that stuff. So
Barry's
yeah,
got the lowdown.
that was her first stop.
Cool. Yeah, you guys. I like your guys' wisdom. Rick, you got the Rick. Rick, you have like the best poker room. You're like basically saying all the things I've been thinking about that I have been thinking about. Oh, that might be a good idea. That might be a good idea. You're kind of like describing a lot of the ways I've been at least considering. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm trying to learn. But you,
Oh,
you,
you're doing fine. Listen, I was 25 years in Native American casino and built 3 rooms. So it's you have to figure it out for yourself how to get to play and how to do it right. And I just want to do it right, and I want people to have fun and enjoy themselves. That's what it's all about. It's a social game, always has been. My son's a professional player because his grandmother taught him how to play, and she was ruthless with her grandson. She would just beat the hell out of him. But that's what it's all about for me. It's about being fair and offering people the best experience they can have in that room.
are you a consultant now, or are you an advisor now, or
No,
are you just part of the game?
I've been retired for 6 years. The only consulting I do is with Sherry. That's
Well, but we could work out
That's
a
cool.
deal. We could work out a deal for Joey.
there
That's
you
cool. I don't know. I mean, this guy got he already dropped like 10 things on me that I'm like, oh, that's actually a great way to think about it. So, I mean, that's sometimes what you need, right? It's like I try to help a lot of the young guys out, young content creators and poker players out, and just give them some input and wisdom and advice. And hey, here's what I did, and it worked for me for 10 years. So, it's probably gonna work for a lot of other people. And here's how it works. And that's kind of what it sounds like what
yeah.
Rick's describing is he did that
We
for
brought the
25 years.
we brought the WPT deep stacks to a 6 table poker room, and we had 30 tables set up in the entertainment center, and it was huge, absolutely
That's
huge.
cool.
It was a lot of fun.
You sound like a networking god or end boss or something like that to
That
be
was
able to
we
know all
had
the
some great
people.
poker players in that area that didn't really have. They had to travel 2 hours to get into a big tournament. So we asked the Deep Stacks guys, "Why don't you bring one here?" And it worked out. We did a 9 day series, and it was a lot of fun. All kinds of different mixed games and stuff, And Jan and Linda came, and Scotty. We had a bunch of people that came and played in them. Mizrakis came and played, and Jerry Wang played in one of them, and it was just we had a big, beautiful event center. We could set up a bunch of tables, and we had a stage where we could put up the final table, and we televised it within the hotel and throughout the casino, and so it was a lot of fun, and that's stuff that you can look forward to doing too, hosting things like that. So
I'm going to tell you, Joey, if you do a Omaha game, PLO game, whatever, you should get Robert Turner to come play.
there you
Have,
go.
if
There-
you have you spent any time having any conversations with him?
I think I talked to him a little bit maybe 10 years ago on Facebook, but that was about it. I don't really know much about him. I just know he may or may not have been around the invention of Putnam and Omaha. So I think
Right.
that's
And
but he's like a gambling legend, right? I don't know what's his story.
okay, so right now he is a prop player at oh my goodness, what casino in California? What's the one across from the new football stadium?
Not the bike. You're not thinking.
Not the bike, although he used to help run the bike.
That was it. That's what I was thinking.
He actually started the Live at the Bike. That was his baby.
Yeah.
Is it Hollywood Park?
Hollywood Park,
There
thank you. He actually runs the daily PLO game over there or whatever. And he's just a great like storyteller like Rick. He just and Barry, they just have the stories from being there. And he is such a great character to have at a poker table. He would be just a delight to add to one of your games.
Well, if you know him, you can connect me, and I would love to invite him. I mean, like I said, we talked a few times because I remember I hit him up about coming on my show when I was doing my show a lot, and we didn't make it happen. But obviously, that guy's probably got the sickest stories in the history of poker. I mean, I feel like the guys from the 80s and 90s, they just got the most greatest lore, and nobody knows about it. So, like, I don't know about a lot of this stuff at all. So for me,
Well, and I'm going to tell you, I did interview him, and it's on my YouTube channel if you want to kind of catch up a little bit, so to speak,
okay,
about him.
I'll check it out.
But I will definitely reach out to him and tell him to reach out to you
Cool.
for sure, because he's just one of the characters that's still around, that's still playing, that, taps into those stories and histories. And, he'll be the first to tell you that, it wasn't that people were against online poker because it was going to take poker out of their poker rooms. They were against it because of they were not being regulated, and they were afraid that their customers were going to get cheated. And he talks about actually being taken to a home, and they wanted him to invest and get involved with online poker. And in this home there were 20 kids all on computers conspiring as they played online poker, so he saw it
What the fuck?
firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't surprise me, the things I've heard. And I mean, nowadays, there's a lot of farms like that, whether they're human or AI.
Right.
So yeah, sounds like he was around for the first iteration of all that. I mean, that's stuff you always heard about. It's like that Bryn Kenny story, the allegations. It's like you hear about these allegations a lot, but you never actually see anyone come out and tell like a firsthand account. So it's always interesting to hear. Oh, like I walked in the room and there was 20. That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
This is on your YouTube channel. This is on the video.
On
Okay,
my
I'll
YouTube.
check it out.
I don't know if we talked about it then or another time, but I think we did touch on it in that interview. But it is on my YouTube channel. He tells us some great stories, of course, and it's just he's just one of those you want around from time to time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. And you said about Scotty Wynn. Is he still playing poker? I kind of see him around the WSOP, but is he still?
Yes.
Is he still around?
He's still playing. And I'll tell you a funny story. I went into Barry Johnson's house once. He had 4 huge screens, and he was playing 4 games at once. It was amazing online. It was just
crazy.
He said, "Yeah, I make so much money playing online. Why go anywhere else?"
Right, and that's what a lot of people think. They'll sit home and play 10 games a day or 20 at a time or whatever. I mean, it can be very profitable.
What do you think about Scotty Wynn 2025 meetup game at the Venetian? Is that a potential idea for the legend of the game?
I'm sure it would be. And if
what do you think about that, Rick?
I'm sure he'd be interested in something like that. He's back in Vegas now, so he might be interested in something like that. Just let me know what you're thinking, and let me know. I can contact him and see if that's something he wants to do. But
sure.
he enjoys doing stuff like that. He really does.
Well, I know my director of my poker program at the Venetian. He's an OG been around for a long time, so I know he's a big fan of a lot of the OGs like Scotty Wynn. So I think we'd love to have him in the room, do a game, do something cool like that, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. Kind of what you described is, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like let's try to do something like that for him now, 2025. While he's still around and still grinding, and And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think about how do I honor the legends of the game? How do I support the poker community? How do I support upcoming content creators? How do I support the OGs? We had this guy, the Trooper. He's one of the first YouTube bloggers of all time, basically a local Vegas guy. We had him in there for a meetup game. I support his event. And so I'm trying to figure out how do I build these like side events, or not even necessarily a poker game, but like a party, a celebration, an honoring, a gala, something like that, to honor the people that are in the community. So
I know he loved doing Barry's event. He told me he really loved it, and he's done a couple of things for my son in Phoenix that were events that were for charities and things like that. So he actually came into Phoenix and hung out with my son to do some events when Eric was still on radio back in the day, and
cool.
so he really enjoys doing stuff like that. And he's calmed down now, and he's doing he's just doing his thing now, and he's grateful for people to invite him to do stuff. So
Love
Cool. Well,
that, Joey.
I followed you on here, Rick, and yeah, let's be in touch about it. And cool,
Love
yeah,
it.
I'd appreciate it. If you want to hit him up and see if he's interested.
sure.
And then yeah, we could throw a party. Maybe we bring the Spaces crew there. I don't know. There's a lot of potential in what could happen with that. But yeah, that would be awesome.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love networking. I think you could really kick off your salute to the OGs. Having
Yeah.
Scotty do a 25-50 game will get the fire going for others. When you ask them, you'll be like, "Hey, we
Salute to
just
the
did
OGs.
Scotty."
Is that what you just call that? Salute to the OGs. I like
I
that.
did. I
Okay.
did.
You're cooking.
I did call it that. And, once you light that fire with one, then they see, oh, Scotty had a game. Joey hosted Scotty. Okay, it's my turn now for him to host me when he contacts me. That is really a great approach.
Yeah,
Well, that's exactly what happened with the Scotty Win Poker Challenge. He told him, I'm doing this tournament. Come to Oklahoma." And Oklahoma? Why do we want to go to Oklahoma? And they all came. Everybody, they had a great time because we put them in the suites, and we took care of them. They went out and ripped up our golf course that was right next to us, there to the chagrin of the CEO. But other than that, it's just a great social event, and that's how that all started way back then in Oklahoma.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was the whole idea.
Love it.
It was basically a meetup tournament,
Yeah,
So
that's what it sounds like.
it was a lot of fun. And I'll never forget watching Sexton walk away from the final table saying, "I could have got away from those pocket jacks. I could have got away from those pocket jacks."
Man after my own heart. Fuck pocket jacks. It could be the salute to the OG series. Come on.
There you go.
Could be. We'll see. Yeah, that's this will be the first one. Hey, if he wants to do it, I'm down. I'm down to set it up. I'm pretty sure that the rest of the teams look good with that too. So it's a go on my end. It's just a matter
Well,
of
send me your info. How he would get a hold of you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sounds good.
It'll probably be his daughter. You'll probably be talking to his daughter, but
okay.
She's got a hold of him now, and she's got him running straight and narrow. So
There's a new sheriff in town. It's called Scotty's daughter.
Yeah, Victoria. She's a nice kid. She's a good kid.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I sent you a message. I sent you a message, Rick, and then let's be in touch on that. I'm down to if you want to do it sometime, maybe during WSOP or after WSOP. I'm flexible on dates and everything.
Let me see exactly where he's at, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I'm going to give you my dates, Rick, so maybe it could fall in between those.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If he's in Vegas, I'm sure he wouldn't mind doing stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I love getting invited. Like, if people invite me to something, like I don't see so many things, so like I don't know something's happening. So like, unless you personally text me an invite, like I just won't know what's happening. So when people send me invites, like that's the only way I would ever know. So it's like I find that people actually do like going to things. They just don't know what's happening. So once you say, "Hey, oh, we'd love to have you there," people are like, "Oh, cool." Like I'll actually go to that. So.
And I'm going to attest to that because Joey came to our meetup game at the Sahara and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good time. I met, remember Wolfie was there and a bunch of, that was a legendary game. That poker room's gone forever. So we basically had, I was there for the first ever hand of poker in the new Sahara poker room. And I really thought that room was going to work out, but didn't do it, unfortunately. But Yeah, that event was fun. I mean, that goes down in the history of the Venetian poker room. So, or not the Venetian, the Sahara. I guess the Sahara. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a fun time. Love it. Oh my God. What else? How fun is this space, you guys? We're just problem solving and making up new events and scheduling stuff. I love it.
Yeah, you guys caught me at you guys caught me. Well, like I said, I'm working like every hour. It feels like, so when I'm awake in the morning, I'm just always thinking about what to do next. And I guess that's the thing with content is like you always got to figure out, what are you going to do next? What's the next event? Who's going to be at that event? All this kind of stuff like that. How are you going to promote it, and how are you going to market it, or who are you going to have on your podcast and stuff like that. So I've just been obsessed with that lately. So it's kind of nice to hear other people's opinions and their perspective and what they did that might have worked or might not have worked. So, that kind of stuff is
It's so
very,
valuable.
yeah, exactly. Very valuable, especially for creative process. Because if you're just by yourself thinking, working with your AI, it's like your AI can tell you everything's great and shit like that. But, it's not, the AI doesn't, it gives you an output, but who fucking knows, right? What's actually, if it works or not, so it's
Right.
good to, you can't replace people that have actually just done the thing before, and that they can just say, hey, here's what we did, and like could work for you, it might not work for you, but here's a different way to think about it. I feel like that kind of stuff is super important for,
So important. I see
yeah.
ASG has his hand up. Go ahead, buddy.
Yes, sorry, I had some work stuff for the
I figured.
last last hour, so sorry if you covered this, but yeah, I'm just giving Joey a chance to plug the. I know you mentioned that there was something last night, but plug the WPT Gold at the Old Red. I guess there's something recurring, or what's going on there?
So from my understanding, I think I'm understanding correctly, is that they took over. There's like a third floor. There's a 4-floor place, Old Red, and they got live country music. They got 4 different floors. The third floor, they basically rebranded the third floor with like a bunch of gold signs. A lot of the ambassadors are on the pillars, and I think there's a 50% discount if you're a gold member for food. So if you go there on the third floor to eat, they give you 50% off on the food. So it's kind of, I was like, oh, it's actually a pretty sick deal. So I just really learned about it last night, so I don't have all the details, but from my understanding, it'll be there all WSOP. So if you're at the WSOP, Old Red's out front. So you basically just go out the front doors, walk across the street through that little whatever that little mall
Shopping.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mall.
yeah, the OG shopping mall. Then on the street, there's like the big brick building, the red building, and yeah, so they took that over, country bar. So I guess their goal is people to go hang out there on breaks, and and yeah, just relax and hear some country music, I guess, and then eat some good food and get a discount. So it's a pretty
It,
cool
it,
idea. I mean, it's definitely innovative. I wouldn't have thought to take over a place like that on the strip.
and their
So pretty
food is
cool.
good, and the bar on the roof is outstanding. It's really great views, and it's really a great place. So I've always been a big Blake Shelton fan anyway, so it's really a cool place.
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
agree.
forward to it.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out. I mean, if you come out to the series, like Rick said, the fourth floor is like a different kind of music. The first 3 floors are the live country music, and then the top floor they usually have like a little DJ, and you can basically see the fountains, Bellagio. You can see the whole strip. Yeah, it is a pretty incredible place. I mean, you can't really beat the location on the corner of the Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, and the Horseshoe, and you're just literally on the street corner. So it's pretty impressive. I mean, it inspires you to see what people can do, because when you think a space is limited, all of a sudden a building pops up, and something new's there. So it's pretty cool out here.
And I'm going to tell you, I thought, and this is just between all of us close friends here in this space. I think it would be an amazing place to sit for the fireworks on 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a seat for sure. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if they
Absolutely,
charge tickets or what,
absolutely, that'd be a great place to watch fireworks.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that'd be sick. I mean, that'd be perfect. I would
absolutely.
never go down there. It'd be way too crowded. I mean, it's so crowded on 4th of July on the strip. So it's like I try to stay away from the strip during that day. That's a scary day. But
Well, I agree, but I'm usually staying there, so it's just a matter of walking out the door, right, of my
oh
hotel.
yeah, true, true. Yeah, if you're already there, so that's cool. Yeah,
But I would go
Sherry,
ahead.
are you gonna be playing any WSOP, or are you? What's your plan for coming out here?
Okay, so I arrive on the 20th, and then the 21st is the meetup game, and then after that, I am wide open. So There's a WSOP Ladies warm-up event on the 24th. And then the late WSOP Ladies Event, I'm probably going to play that as well. And then we typically get a group together to go over to South Point to play, to play the 10 p.m. tournament, just because we can, have fun and just act
Yeah.
crazy and stupid, and we love South Point. Um, and then I think there's a ladies event at the Venetian that's on my list, as well as at the MGM, I think, or is it the Aria? But anyway, some of the ladies events, which typically I try to play one or two of them, and then just open events. I do like the daily deep stacks at the WSOP as well. And probably I'm looking at the and I swore this one off my whole poker life that I'd never play the Colossus, but I might have to take one for the team this year.
So it sounds like you got a lot of options. Are you selling action for the ladies event?
I will be selling options.
Okay, let me know if you sell a piece for that.
Okay, I'll do it. Thank you very much.
Send me a message for that. I'm an investor for that. I'll support some of it. Get a sweat going on.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate that. And typically, that's really the only event I ever sell action for. Typically, it depends on, like a couple of years ago, the Lupe Soto was always doing some great things, and she had a tournament she was going to do where if you won the tournament, it depended on, of course, how many seats, how many entries they had. But if you won the tournament, you got a seat into like the $1,000 ladies event, the I think it was like a $550 ladies event, and maybe a $300 ladies event. So I sold like a package, 3 stakings for that event. And if you staked me and I won, then you got a piece of me for all of the tournaments. And I just thought that was kind of a unique experience. So I did sell that as a package, but then the tournament never went off. She ended up canceling it, but I typically only sell action for that ladies event. So thank you. I will reach out to you.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Keep me updated on that. And yeah, just remind me if you could send me a reminder for your meetup game, maybe like a week ahead of time, or what time is it at, by the way? Is it at like noon or?
It's at 1:00.
1:00. All right, I'm put on my schedule now, so I
Thank you. And that's
remember
the
it.
21st.
Okay, and
And
that's
I
at
will. I'll send
Bellagio,
you.
right? Like you said it's like 1-3.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yep.
I should be good to go to that. I don't have anything else. I try not to schedule many things, but my schedule fills up fast in June, so I have like schedule anxiety. If I look at my schedule, I'm like, oh shit, I got to go out every single night for 1 week straight. So it's that's kind of what gets in the way of poker, is there's so much happening. So you got to kind of manage your
Well, and I
events out
tell
here.
people I try not to even schedule stuff before I come. Like I have a few tournaments in mind, and I have the meetup game, and I know we're going to go to South Point at some time, once or twice. But other than that, I try to keep it open, because when you get there, everybody's like, "Do you want to do this? Hey, come here tomorrow. Hey, do this." And it could be just a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner. But like you said, your schedule starts filling up and you're like, holy shit, I need to sleep at some point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it gets discombobulated fast. I mean, if you want to, I try to go with the flow. That's kind of what I'm trying to do too, is wherever the night takes me. Like last night, the event ends and then people go here, people go there. So I just kind of try to go with the flow and try to not have FOMO too much, because it's easy to always want to be doing 10 other things and 100 other things. So you got to kind of just embrace your decisions and hope for the best, I guess.
I'm gonna start selling my nickel dime community center game every Wednesday night, I think.
Oh yeah, you gonna put a package together for that?
You wouldn't believe how many nickels you can lose in that damn game. They're playing all these stupid, wild card games, that we played when we were kids. It's just amazing. There is no. It's a nickel every time, a nickel every card. It's like crazy.
What's so funny about the first thing that came to my mind is, if there's a nickel shortage, we got to go down to Florida's retirement community and get all the damn nickels.
We got all the nickels, believe me. They're all there. in our community center.
Oh shit, that's so funny. I don't know why that popped in my head. It just did. Because you probably aren't the only community doing it.
No, I walk in and say, "Hey, we got a bunch of illegal games going on here, don't we?" So it's amazing. It's fun. It's really a lot of fun. But it's it's a nickel every damn card.
I love it. But you know what? You're having a blast, right? For a
Absolutely.
nickel and dime game.
Absolutely. If somebody bets 15 cents, you better fold. That's all I can say.
Yeah, big time players over here. 15-cent bet, everybody folds to it. $1,500 bet, nobody folds. $6.
Hey, bankroll management at its finest.
That's right, brother. That's right. My wife's wondering what's happening to her piggy bank.
I love it. Listen, does anybody else have any questions for Joey? Come on up here. Now's your chance. Now's your chance.
Yeah, I'll try to come in here a couple times and during the space if I'm awake in the morning and check in and see how give you guys any updates from my world or from the Venetian side of things or from what I'm seeing around town. But yeah, a lot of what I'm seeing around town right now is a lot of action. So many cash games going on. Oh my god, the place already was packed last night, and every casino I've been seeing, all the wait lists are fired off. So it's gonna be a great summer. I mean, this is gonna be a long month. It's gonna be a great month, and hopefully we all have a good month. Hopefully, I'll win some money.
What do you think about Cabral's new 10-second clock?
Cabral, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really don't know much about him. He did try to message me last year to be my tag team partner for the Hold'em tag team event. And I was like, I think he was in a controversy. He's like, "Oh, it'd be funny," and I was like, "I don't. This guy scares me." So I said no at the time. But I mean, listen, I'm used to poker players and like poker players do the strangest things, especially a high stakes player. You know, they all got their own little edges and superstitions and
Absolutely.
strategies. So like he's bringing a new strategy to the table, and I don't know much about it. Obviously, it'd be super annoying if a guy is tanking all the time, and but I guess that's part of his whole gimmick, and it's part of what he does. So it's like in poker, you don't really have to agree just because people don't like what you're doing. Some people just give in and say whatever, I'm going to do exactly what everyone else does, and then you have some people like him who just decide to break the norms and be a different kind of character and like embrace the whole villain angle or the whole if you guys are going to hate on me, like fuck you sort of thing. And that's sort of what it seems like he does. And is that right or is that wrong? I mean, you would say a guy shouldn't be slowing up the game like that, and he should start acting. So if you think it's a chronic problem, if it was my event and I thought it was a big issue and players were having an issue, then I would put a permanent clock on them, or I would say, hey, speed up. So I don't think that's a wrong thing to do if you feel like it's a big issue. So
Right. And
know,
I think he's funny at times for sure. I think he is funny and he is a good character. I don't like personally when he stands up at the table and leans into it. Like if I was there and he stood up and approached me, I would have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying?
interesting.
Otherwise, and
He does that. What does he do? He stands up and look and what?
like he leans over toward the person, like if you watch some of his videos, you're like, dude, just sit down. Like you can have this discussion with that opponent without standing up and leaning toward them. Like one day you're going to do that to the wrong person. Talk about somebody from New York or Chicago. You lean in like that and you may not be able to stand up for a while. But so the physical, like when to me, that's getting physical with another person by like leaning into them, standing up. It's aggression to me. And so I would have a problem with that if he did that to me at a table. But, and the time
Well,
delay, like, dude, less than a minute is good enough. You don't have to take 3 minutes.
yeah. Yeah, I never thought about that. I never had anybody stand up and try to stay. I mean, that'd be awkward. As long as I could go stare, I guess stand up and stare at them, maybe that'd be a perfect. But where do you draw the line, Sherry? Is it stand behind them? What if they go stand behind you after they bet? It's
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is
where
awkward, right?
where do you draw the
Yeah.
line, Sherry? Where are we drawing the line here in poker these days? There are a lot of people standing up and staring at you. I mean,
Okay, stand up and stare at me, I have no problem with. But stand up and lean over toward me or even walk toward me, yeah, I have an issue. I have an issue. I have an issue. Um, yeah, that's a little aggressive to me.
Well,
And
you just get the management involved. You get his foreperson involved and stuff like that, and tell him to stop it, and that's it. If he continues to do stuff like that, bye bye, you're done.
right.
yeah, I feel like
Not right.
Yeah.
Joey, do you think there's an unsung rule, so to speak, or a gentleman or rule, so to speak? Like, how long should you allow before you call for a clock as a player? Like, is there a time there?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, as a player, it depends how tilted I am that day. It depends, like, if a guy keeps tanking at a cash game, I mean, what do we, unless it's like a high stakes game, it's just pretty much, I just never see that. If a guy's tanking in a cash game, he's usually a bad player, he's drunk, or, he's pretending to be drunk or
Right,
whatever. But like an actual good player doing that, I mean, I would just, I would just cause an issue if I really had a problem with it. I don't mind being confrontational at the poker
right,
table. I don't mind causing an issue. I don't mind calling anybody out. I don't mind going to the floor. I never minded anything posted in social media, posted
right.
on the poker. Like I said all the time, if I got a fucking problem with someone doing something, like I'm just gonna, stand up for what I think. And then
Amen.
if people don't agree, then they don't agree. It's not necessarily like you got to get everybody to agree with you, but you can at least make your opinion known. So, if I got a
What
problem, I'd
about
make
in a
my opinion
tournament,
known.
though? Well, how much time do you give somebody in a tournament?
Well, I
Five
don't, I don't,
minutes?
I don't play many tournaments. If somebody
Okay,
kept tanking all the time, I mean, I don't know what I would do. I'd be very confused and probably think about this is the reason I don't play tournaments. It's like, what the fuck is this a thing? So, I don't know. I think it's a part of tournaments is some people tank a lot and some people like have their own strategies for all that. I don't know. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean that it's
right,
a right or wrong thing for a
right.
poker player to do. So obviously I don't want to be in that environment. I want to play hands and I want to get to the next hand. So from that standpoint, I don't like it, but I don't know. I've never really tanked. I've never been a big tanker. So
Me
I don't
neither,
know
dude.
I'm used to playing online poker where I just act instantly. So I'm not used to the whole,
Okay, I
so yeah.
appreciate that. I see Barry's hand. Go ahead, Bud.
Yeah, if you watch that Cabral stream, it seemed like his OCD, ADD was in overdrive. And anytime he got like a card that had a little crimp in it, like a fingernail mark, he would obsess to try to push it out from the top side. And then he would start standing up, hovering over the player he was against, looking at the top of his cards to see if he could see a crease in them. So there was a whole big controversy going on with the creases that he was
Sounds
trying to.
like a live poker player special. These live poker players, Barry, they've got all the moves. So, if someone's doing something weird at the poker table, like I'm just assuming that guy's got his own move. He's got, people behave really strange to get a reaction out of you, and they're able to pick up on, like these live players are able to pick up on things that are on their level because they've just been doing this kind of act so many times that they've seen certain people react a certain kind of way. So that guy is a true high stakes grinder. He grinds out in high stakes games in Europe in some of the craziest environments. So, I have no doubt that he's probably has some sort of strategy behind that. And if you're
He's
marking
definitely
this
looking for reads.
right, I mean, if you're marking a card, I don't know if that's what's happening with him. I'm not really sure what
No,
his
he was
game
actually
concept.
trying to unmark it. Like he would get a card that had an imprint, like a fingernail, and he would be pressing it down to try to straighten it out. Just like crazy stuff. And then he would stand up and look over at your hand because your cards are face down. So he would look over the top of your cards
What?
and try to peek around
Yep.
your chips and shit. Just craziness.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you that, they even people were accusing him last summer of marking the cards with his finger nail, and of course that was proven not to be true. But it, I think it's part of his shtick, and that's fine as long as you don't invade my space. Like you do whatever you want over there in your space and leave my space alone. I don't care if I'm your target or whatever. That doesn't bother me. As long as you're not like aggressively moving toward me, I'm good. Like, do whatever you want to do over there, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think he was doing the opposite. He was trying to uncrimp because sometimes they get a crimp and then you put
Yep.
it through the shuffle machine and
Yep.
it makes it even worse. So he was trying to uncrimp it from the top side. It was really weird.
It was very strange. Like the whole thing was, there was a lot to it because then his table talk was aggravating people. And guess what? The more you call it out, the more he's doing it, right? I mean, come on. That's his shtick.
Yeah, guys, Sherry, if you guys have any other questions, hit me up. And otherwise, I'm gonna take off. I got another meeting at
Appreciate
12:30.
you, Joe.
Yeah,
Good luck, buddy.
anybody else have anything else? I don't see Karen. I haven't talked to Karen in a while. Hi,
Go
Karen.
ahead, Karen.
Hey, Joey, I've just been listening. I'm so happy you dropped into the space.
Thank you. Yeah, great to see you again,
Good to
Karen. I
see you
know
too.
I always see you pop up on Twitter, and obviously a lot of times over the years. So yeah, it's good to see you, and hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'll be out there June 19th. Can't wait. I'm getting pumped.
Cool. Let's go. Yeah, I'm excited. I love this time of the year. I see so many people that you never get to see, so it's pretty special. So trying to make the most of it. So, but yeah,
Brandon,
sure.
hey, let me see if Brandon has anything. Brandon, did you have anything you wanted to say or ask?
No, I'm good. Good hearing from Joey. Good hearing from everybody. Good space.
Thank you. Joey,
Cool.
appreciate you. I'll be reaching out to you. We'll
Yes,
figure it
ma'am.
out.
Thanks,
Thank
Sherry.
you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Rick and Barry as well. I'll see you guys later. ASG, ASIM, listen in the chat. Todd, Bathwater. Thanks, Bathwater, for the invite. Valerie, I don't recognize Corey the cripple in here. What's up, Corey? Good to see Corey out
Hey,
here. David
Corey.
Razzle. A lot of names I don't recognize, but shout out to everybody out there for listening. Chris Laddie, Lightning, Avni, D-Man. I just got to shout everybody out now. I feel weird. Saul Rack. I got a rather lost. Exec Deck QB. Josh with I like Josh. Okay. Tramp Stamp. Okay. Jay Green. David. Michael Bateman. What's up, guys? But yeah, see you guys later. Thank you, Sherry. You're awesome.
Thanks,
And
Joe.
I appreciate you having me up here.
Take it easy,
Appreciate
Joey.
you.
Bye,
All right.
Joey.
See you guys.
Bye. Appreciate you, bud. There you have it, Joey Ingram, aka Puppy. Hopefully he'll join us at the meetup game. He already put us on his calendar, which is awesome. And many thanks to Bathwater for buy-ins, for um, you know, tagging him to join us this morning, and it was a great reminder to him for sure. So with that being said, we're going into hour 3 this morning, or now it's the afternoon. It's been great, you guys. I'm going to go around the horn in case anybody has any last minute things they want to add, and then I'm going to sign off because I actually have my granddaughter who has arrived about 30 minutes ago because we're supposed to go out shopping, and so they are waiting on me. So I'm going to go around the horn and then we're going to end it for today. So if anybody has anything, now's your chance. Brandon, I'm going to start with you, buddy.
Great space. Loved it. Thanks.
Thank you, bud. Barry.
No, thanks for having me. Good luck to everybody who's playing, and catch you guys later.
Oh, Barry, we didn't ask you. Are you playing today?
Playing 1500 three-way mix with the WSOP.
Awesome. Good luck today, bud.
What 1500 what?
Mixed.
Oh, high-low mix. Yeah,
Oh, I
three-way.
love this. Go Barry.
Get him, Barry.
Awesome. Karen, your turn.
Great space and looking forward to tomorrow's space. And good luck, Barry, and everybody that's playing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Rick, any last thoughts or anything?
No, great space. Really fun to meet all these new people and hear the new insights and things. Another great job, Cher.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Eismoff.
Great space. Hope y'all had a good one. Catch y'all tomorrow.
Thank you, buddy. ASG.
Yeah, I'll finish the plug since he didn't fully get it. I was going to mention it later in the week, but this is from Lynn Gilmartin's Instagram. They said regarding that Gold Rush Lounge at Old Red, they said we'll be here 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Thursday through Sunday during the series, where we'll be giving away, I don't know if this is the correct number, but 1,000 Gold Rush tickets. That's the $1 million free roll that might be likely become a $2 million free roll on Club WPT Gold. So Thursday through Sunday night, check out Old Red.
Where is she
Okay.
gonna be? Old Red.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck about the tickets.
Brandon. Okay,
I do.
let me ask a question. When would that ticket need to be used? Like right now I'm in a state that I can't play WPT Gold. So
Oh,
when would that ticket
the tournament I want to say is July. Is it 6th, 13th? It's yeah. Give
Okay.
me a second.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Close
it's
enough. We'll look it up for
after the first couple of days of the main. I know that for sure.
okay,
It's after the
perfect.
main
So
is completed.
perfect. So the main is done on July the 16th. So we'll figure out the date and we'll talk about that again, I'm sure, because I'll be home by then. So that is definitely something that I could benefit
It's
from
the
if I were.
13th.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So there you have it. Thanks for that update on the WPT Gold Rush Lounge. And tell us the name of the building again. It's the Red
Old Red, which is
Oh,
associated with Blake Shelton. It's like an album of his or something, but or a song. I don't know.
yes,
Yeah.
Old Red. And if you don't know where it is, it's actually right on the corner in front of the horseshoe. It's a big red brick building. It's beautiful.
That
How
was
they
that
fit
was the
it.
name of one of his dogs, so that's why it's called Old Red.
Thank you.
Not
Um,
not the only red thing that's beautiful there.
yes, we know. But anyway, they fit that building right into that corner, like Joey was alluding to. It's amazing, and it looks good in that corner, actually. So thank you for that update on the WPT Gold Rush Lounge. At the old red building in front of the horseshoe. So, all right, you guys, we're going to sign off because I need to go be with my grandbaby. Appreciate all of you and your help and contributions. As always, no matter what they are, we appreciate them. We love the conversation, no matter how quiet or loud it gets. That's what we're here for. And you know what? We walk away with a plethora of information. Appreciate all of you. If you're playing today, please have some good luck and may the cards run your way. If you're not, get out and touch that grass. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.